You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrud Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrud's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrud's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrud's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrud's, locally owned for more than 30 years. Gubrud's.
Call the good dudes at Gabrud's. Gubrud's. Gabrud's.com.
It's the All Things Legal Show, heard every Saturday morning from 8 to 9. Join your host, Craig Ashton, with an entertaining and eclectic view of all things legal. Saturday mornings from 8 to 9. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
It's about time delivery worked on your schedule. Same day, next day, or scheduled in advance. However you plan it, the Home Depot delivers the whole job. From drywall to doors, plumbing to paint. We'll get it there when you need it. Because on the job site, timing is everything. You order, we deliver. It's that easy. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
Just outside of Sacramento is a place where families build friendships that last a lifetime. The Golden State Shooting Center is a clay target shooting facility. It's the home of numerous local high school and youth sport shooting teams. Skeet and trap shooting is a safe, exhilarating sport. School team members can compete for numerous college scholarship opportunities. Teams are being formed now, and new members are welcome. Call the Golden State Shooting Center for details or visit them online at goldenstateshootingcenter.com.
You took the first step and quit smoking. But even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Tell your friends. Grant's back. Grant Napear is back on the Sacramento airwaves right here. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst. K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento. Hello. Hello, Sacramento. Sacktown. And welcome in.
Grant Napear.
How you been? You know this guy.
It's your show.
So happy to hear you on the airwaves.
2+ decades on the radio with you.
Just the start of an incredible journey.
Now he's back on Fox Sports 104.7 FM and 890 AM.
3 to 6 every day, Fox Sports Sacramento.
The phone number?
916-779-0929.
His name? Grant Napear.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you are doing well. Not a good day for the NBA. Not at all. I guess the most used word now in the NBA is tanking. It's not about winning, losing. It's tanking. You can't go an hour. You can't go 2 hours. You can't get through an evening, an afternoon, a morning without hearing the word tanking. You don't hear it in the NFL. You don't hear it in baseball. You don't hear it in hockey, but you do hear it in the NBA. How about tonight's game, which is going to start in about an hour in Charlotte for the Sacramento Kings? I mean, you just can't make this stuff. Nick Clifford is not playing in this game tonight. Left foot soreness. That's right, sore. Russell Westbrook, not playing tonight. Right foot soreness. I mean, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Then the NBA Players Association came out today with a very terse statement. said the players' participation policy, all right, was designed by the league to hold teams accountable and ensure that when an all-star like Giannis Antetokounmpo is healthy and ready to play, he is on the court. Unfortunately, anti-tanking policies are only as effective as their enforcement. Fans, broadcast partners, and the integrity of the game itself will continue to suffer as long as ownership goes unchecked. We look forward to collaborating with the NBA on meaningful new proposals that will directly address and discourage tanking. And as this relates to the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo, I'm going to wrap this whole thing up in a nutshell here. It was about a week ago, Doc Rivers was asked whether the risks of Antetokounmpo getting hurt outweighed the potential reward of putting him on the floor. He responded, Rivers did, "That's a good question. I don't have the answer, but it's a very good question." No, it's a stupid question. It's not a good question. And Doc, you should be ashamed of yourself. Why do you think you have a job? Why do you think Giannis Antetokounmpo is making $50 million a year or whatever he's making? Why do you think, Doc, that you play in a beautiful, state-of-the-art, very, very lavish arena? You know why? Because you have people that buy luxury suites, who spend money to go to the games, who watch your team on TV. I can go on and on and on. And the reason for that is because they want to see players like Giannis Antetokounmpo. Doc, what would happen if you went to New York, you wanted to take your wife out on a anniversary dinner, birthday dinner, great celebration, and you went to see a Broadway play that you really have been hoping to put on your schedule, and it finally happens, and you get there, and the headliner or headliners decide to take the night off because they're tired and they don't really want to work that night. How are you going to feel? You've been looking forward to this for a long time. Are you just going to say, oh, that's okay? Or are you going to be disappointed? Are you going to feel cheated? Are you going to feel like you didn't get your money's worth? So, Doc, for you to say that's a good question, I don't have the answer. No, it's not a good question, because the only reason why the NBA is in business is because you're in entertainment. You're entertainment. Okay? Major League Baseball tomorrow. The Yankees and the Giants. It's entertainment. Okay? Entertainment. The NFL, entertainment. All the sports is entertainment. Going to a high school game, entertainment. Why do they charge money to go to a high school football game? Why do they charge money to go to a high school basketball game? What's the NCAA men's basketball tournament? What's all a sport? Professional sports, it's all about entertainment. Because without the fans, you don't have a job, Doc. And without the star players playing, fans don't want to go to your games. And if the fans across the league stop going to the games, guess what, Doc? You don't make nearly the amount of money that you're making now. It's entertainment. And Robert Parrish said it best last week when he went on NBA radio. It was great. Quote, "These players have every conceivable amenity you can think of, and they're still not in the best possible shape. Why do you need time off? If you get yourself in the best physical condition, you do not need to miss games or take time to rest up. Not to mention, you're doing the fans a disservice." That was always my philosophy, how I looked at the fans through this lens. Somebody in that arena is watching me play for the first time or came to watch me play. Some fans had to save up to buy a ticket with the parking, buying merchandise for their children. We didn't take games off. We didn't take shortcuts. If you're not injured, why do you need time off? By the way, Robert Parrish, who's in the Basketball Hall of Fame, played 80 games. You ready for this? 80 games or more 9 times. And at the end of his career, when he was 42 with the Hornets, he played 81 games. And yet tonight, in an hour, when the Kings begin their road trip, they won't have Nick Clifford on the floor because his foot is sore. And they won't have Russell Westbrook on the floor because his foot is sore. Boy, I really hope these guys are going to be okay with their soreness. That really concerns me. And let's hope they're going to be able to board the flight tonight to go to their next destination, which I believe is Orlando. Let's hope they can make it. Walking up those stairs of that Delta 757 charter with your luxury seats, fully stocked and catered with great food, that is going to be difficult. If you've got a sore foot and you got to walk up those 20 steps to get into your beautiful, lavish, private, chartered jet, good luck with that. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. There's no other way to say it. And the comments of those like Doc Rivers, no, it's not a good question because you're forgetting the reason why you're in business. The reason why you're in business, the reason why you have a job, the reason why Giannis Antetokounmpo is Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I can go right on down the list, is because you are entertainment. And when you give fans reasons to stop spending their money and going to the games, what does that do to the league? You got a real problem here, and we talk about this all the time. 916-779-0929. Grant, I listen to your show every day while I'm at work, and I work in a warehouse pulling 80 to 100-pound barrels every day, and I'm always sore. But if I call out of work, I get a write-up. Must be nice to sit out of work with a sore foot and get paid millions. This NBA is soft. Yep. And here's the distinction I want to make about this. And thank you very much for your text message, and thank you for your support. It's not the players who are asking the teams to sit out for the most part. It happens. It's the general managers, and it's the ridiculously overstaffed medical department that each NBA team has now, which is beyond ridiculous. Okay? It's absurd. It's an absolute waste of money. And I don't mean to demean or criticize an individual's education and their status in the training or medical facility. That's not what I'm doing here. What I am doing is you have 15 players and you have so many members of the medical staff that it's ridiculous. Okay? It is beyond absurd. Okay? It is ridiculous. And every time teams add more and more experts to their staff, players play less and less and have more problems. How come Harrison Barnes, throughout his career, pretty much plays every game? I'll tell you why. Because he takes great care of his body. He's in the room before anyone else. He's normally the last one to leave. He takes care of his body. Why is LeBron James able to do what he's doing at age, 41, 42 now? Why is he able to do this? Because he takes phenomenal care of his body. Now, is some of it luck? Yes, some of it's luck. But most of it is how you prepare and how you take care of your body. So on the same day, the NBA Players Union calls for a change on the 65-game limitation for postseason awards. And they're citing Cade Cunningham and some of the other players that may not be eligible for the MVP this year because they didn't play 65 games. And the league is trying now to remove that. Again, I go back to this. How come we don't hear about this in the National Hockey League? Have you watched hockey? Have you seen the way hockey games go? Have you seen the contact? Have you seen the physicality? If you want to talk about true physicality, they play 82 games. You think that there's not a player in the National Hockey League that's taking the ice tonight that's not sore to some degree? And you think any of those players are going to be out of the lineup? No. Absolutely not. Not only will they play, they might hit their coach over the head with their stick if they got removed from the game. But yet you're not going to see Nick Clifford or Russell Westbrook tonight because they have a sore foot? Are you freaking kidding me? I mean, it's a joke. I mean, it really is. It's an absolute joke. So I don't know what's going to happen. Steve Kerr cries all the time about the season being too long. It's funny. I never heard Steve Kerr cry about the season being too long when he was winning championships as a player. I never heard Steve Kerr crying about the season being too long when he played Rhino with Michael Jordan. Did you ever hear Steve Kerr talk about the season's too long?
No.
When he played for the Chicago Bulls?
No, and his whole argument is the game is so much different now because it's positionless and there's a lot more, I guess, high impact moves and movements on your joints. I want to draw a distinction, though, for Nick Clifford. He did get hurt last game. He had an MRI. He has a mild left midfoot sprain. And he's going to
call it that. Don't call it foot soreness on the injury report.
And he's going to be reevaluated in about a week. So, yes, that should have been what is said on the injury report.
And thank you. And you know what? And I really appreciate you bringing that to my attention. But when I looked this morning, when I woke up, I always look at the injury report, and it said soreness.
It does.
So thank you for that.
Still does.
I appreciate that.
You got it, buddy.
And what about Russell Westbrook? Any update on him, or is it just he doesn't want to play, or rather the team doesn't want him to play?
Likely the latter, because
Okay.
this soreness seems to come and go every other day with Russ, right?
Okay.
Or every other game, I should say.
All right. And then let me ask you this, because you're at practice a lot. You're at the games a lot. You have interaction with other members of the media. Have you had talks amongst yourself about why everybody on the team's been hurt this year? Is it just a coincidence? Is it something that they're doing behind the scenes incorrectly? I mean, how is it that almost every single player, with the exception of DeMar DeRozan, and I'm doing this off the top of my head, has been hurt this year?
It's really not something that we've breached, or at least I've talked about with other people, but I draw back to many of the things that you said in your opening. You have so much medical staff on your team, and then also just the training. I don't think guys follow what the team puts out for them to do in the summers. I think that you have a conflict of interest when it comes to their own trainers that are maybe wanting them to do different movements because the team might be asking you to do certain things to improve in one area, and your trainer might think you need to improve in this area because it's going to help your game and your contract and etc. And that, to me, is one of the bigger problems that I think is not talked about as much now in sports, Grant.
Here's one of your biggest problems, is that tonight, a team like Charlotte, who's going to be in the play-in, okay, is one of 30 teams in the NBA. And they're taking on a Kings team which has nobody playing for all intents and purposes other than Max Reno. I'm generalizing, and you can go to the game tonight and you can get a ticket on the secondary market, Ryan, for $7.
$7.
$7. Okay? $7. I'm going to ask you, because I don't know the answer to this question because I haven't been to a movie in a long time. Is that less than the price of going to a movie?
That is about 50%. That's half the price of going to a movie.
Okay. So you can go to a Charlotte Hornets game tonight on the secondary market for less than the cost of going to a movie. This is the NBA. We're not talking about high school. I would pay $7 to go watch a really good high school game. I wouldn't even blink at that. $7 to go to an NBA game? $7. And I'm looking at the seating chart here. If you want to sit downstairs, Ryan, how about $40?
Yeah.
How about $40?
And I think you're pointing this out correctly. This is not just a Charlotte thing. We've seen this in Sacramento, seen
Yes.
this in many other buildings across the NBA. In
Yes.
fact, when we look at, we almost look at ticket prices every time the Kings are in another building. And it's not an indictment of the Kings, it's an indictment of Adam
Yep.
Silver. You know?
Amen. The league cannot ignore this anymore. They've got a real big problem. So we're going to talk about that at 916-779-0929. We're also going to talk about DAS Mechanical for all of your heating and air conditioning needs. Service, new systems, right? Repair. They do it all. They're also donating a heating and an air conditioning unit, right? Either or, to either you, an individual that you nominate, maybe a veteran. All you need to do is go to dasmechanical.org. That's dasmechanical.org. Just click on the 2026 HVAC nomination tab. Simple. Fill out the quick form yourself, nominate a friend, and DAS Mechanical will install a heating or air conditioning unit. Again, that is dasmechanical.org. And keep in mind, family-owned, locally owned, serving Sacramento and Placer counties for all of your HVAC needs, service, repair. They do it all. That's dasmechanical.org. Be sure and click on that 2026 HVAC nomination tab. Maybe you or the individual you nominate will win a heating or air conditioning unit installed by DAS Mechanical. All right, let's continue on this. Kings and Charlotte coming up a little after 4 o'clock, which means that we'll be on YouTube and X right after the game with our post-game show. Here we go. Tuesday, Sean Salisbury after Grant Sran as well a little bit later, right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
We are Fox Sports. Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
Get the best. Bridgestone tires are engineered to keep your world moving, and that's what really matters. Now through March 31st, buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires and get $80 back on a Bridgestone prepaid MasterCard. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. For the best selection in Bridgestone tires, get to Expert Tires and Brakes at 5810 Auburn Boulevard. Expert Tires and Brakes. Save big and get their 60-minute install guarantee. Expert Tires and Brakes, 5810 Auburn Boulevard. That's Expert Tires and Brakes.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Free at every AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
916-779-0929. Want to get to a couple of messages on the studio chat line. Grant, how much medical staff did the Kings employ in the Al B. and Connie era? Al was the team's strength and conditioning coach. They had a trainer. They had an assistant trainer. They had an orthopedic surgeon from the UC Davis Medical Center. They had a team doctor and a team dentist. Now, they obviously had the full complement of whatever they needed as contracted back then with UC Davis Medical Center, but their orthopedic surgeon, their family doctor, both phenomenal men, great guys, very good at what they did. Al was the strength coach, trainer, assistant trainer, and that was it. That's what you had. Things are a little different now. And I will tell you this, and I'm not exaggerating. At the beginning of the year, okay, we would get on the plane, and I would look at Jerry and G-Man and go, who are these people? Every year, there were more and more people on the plane, and we had no idea what they did or who they were. And we found out that they were part of the enhanced training medical staff. But it kept adding on every single year. And it got to a point where it was, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I'm not undermining these individuals' education and what their job is. I'm telling you that it's too many people. That's what I'm telling you, in my opinion. Okay? More is not better. More is not better. It's gotten to a point where teams are wasting so much money. They really are. They're wasting so much money, in my opinion. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. All right. Some other questions. Okay? Grant, if the incompetent head coach didn't play Westbrook 40-plus minutes every game, then he wouldn't have foot soreness, embarrassing on every level. Well, I know you're exaggerating a little bit. I don't think Doug Christie's incompetent. I've never said that. I just don't think he's an NBA head coach. I don't think he's incompetent. Westbrook doesn't play 40-plus minutes a night, although there are games this year where he has played a ridiculous amount of minutes. I think his actual average is just over 27 minutes. But your point is well taken. I understand the point you're trying to make. All right. To me, the physical toll on players in the NBA was much more prior to the 2000s. Kerr is nuts. What coaches are saying, like Steve Kerr, is that the flow and the pace of the game is different from that era. That is true, but the degree of physicality, I don't think anyone would argue with, was different back then in a more strenuous way than it is now. Is there more running? Is there more of high flying now? I don't know. Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins fly through the air, didn't they? Spud Webb, players in that era. Is the three-point shot? Because you see, to me, if the game is that much different, then fix the game, right? If we're having this problem, as Steve Kerr says, because of the way the game is played, well, then change the way the game is played. How hard is that? Ryan, how hard would that be? If the three-point shot has resulted in the pace of the game changing, the way the game is completely played, then why not change the rules and make the game to a sport where you don't have as many injuries, if this is what's causing it? Very simple. Change the game. That's pretty easy. How hard would that be? Jerry Reynolds has been talking about this for 10 years. Get rid of the corner three. That would solve a lot of the problems with what we're discussing, in my opinion.
Yeah, Jerry's spot on. I agree with you. Here's one. We're talking about all these challenges and how baseball is going to have 2 challenges.
Yeah.
What if you capped the amount of 3-pointers a team could shoot in a night?
Okay. Who's coming up with that number?
Well, we've got enough analytics teams in the NBA. I'm sure you could come up with the right number if you look historically. You take the highs, you take the lows, you meet somewhere in the middle, but you cap that number, so you take them strategically.
How about just get rid of the corner 3 and then you don't have to cap anything?
Well, I think that's the most logical. Grant, half these players are stepping out of bounds when they're shooting the corner 3. How many times a game do you see at least once or twice the heels are on the line because it's just such a short space, and it is the shortest shot on the court for 3 points.
Yeah,
So,
it's too easy for an NBA player. Plain and simple, it's too easy.
Okay.
And here's the other aspect, real quickly, Ryan.
Yeah.
Teams come down on fast breaks and they give up layups and dunks to kick the ball out to the corner.
That's right.
That's not the way the game's supposed to be played.
That's right. Okay. Would you push the 3-point line back?
I wouldn't. I would just get rid of the corner 3.
Okay. I think the 3-point line for these guys is probably a little too close. We have enough of a sample size to show that.
My
now.
opinion is these athletes are so good that if you push it back, it's still within time and practice and repetitiveness. They'll still make the same percentage. That's my opinion.
Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's just, here's the problem. Guys like us can talk about this stuff all day. We can throw ideas around, but until the commissioner of the NBA does something, none of it matters. Nothing. None of it.
Very true. Very true. And you are heading into a postseason, Ryan, where what happened last year? The postseason last year was overshadowed by 2 injuries. One to Jason Tatum and one in Game 7 to Tyrese Halliburton. And what does that do? It puts the fear into general managers, organizations, as they plan for their off season and the following season, and they get in their computers and they go through all of the medical data and how many steps a player has taken.
Right.
And how do we reduce that? How do we make sure that doesn't happen next year? Like, this all goes into it, Rhino. It's all part of the equation.
100%, Grant. 100%. I look at the memo that came out from the Players Union about Cade Cunningham and the 65 games. Look, I don't disagree, but you've got 2 problems. Number one, how are you going to define what's a significant injury? I think that's just too broad.
Yep.
Here's the second problem. This shouldn't even be a thing. There shouldn't even need to be a 65-game rule.
Correct. And here's the other problem. It's now the middle of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. It's 3 weeks away from the start of the NBA playoffs. And what are we talking about? And what are most people talking about when it comes to the NBA? We're not talking about Victor Wembanyama. We're not talking about some of the great races and some of the big games that are going on this week. The NBA is once again being dominated by negative news, whether it's been gambling, whether it's been fines of $500,000 and $100,000 respectively to teams accused of tanking, whether it's been laughable injury reports for teams having to come up with a reason why their players are not playing on a particular night, from the Steve Kerrs of the world. This is what we talk about all too often on the NBA. You got a Hall of Famer in Robert Parrish that as a guest comes on NBA radio and rips the players to shreds. You got Charles Barkley, among others, that are on a high-profile show with millions of people watching, or hundreds of thousands of people watching, who have no problem slamming the NBA on a fairly regular basis. Shaquille O'Neal has done it. Charles Barkley has done it. The Kendrick Perkins of the world. We can go on and on. How's that good for the league, Ryan? How's that good for the league?
Well, Grant, even when you have Bam Adebayo
Yeah.
puts up 83.
Yeah.
Half of it turned into bad press.
Yeah. And
You
a big
know?
debate.
And
And gee, it wasn't authentic. And what a joke and what a travesty the way the Heat were fouling to get him more possessions. And then
Yep.
you had to have Eric Spoelstra come out and give a very strong retort, right? And was very animated that he didn't apologize for anything.
No, not at all. I guess
So-
my question to you is the media. Are we overreacting to what's going on in the NBA? Is the problem really as bad? Or are we just inflaming it with each injury report that teams put out?
I think it's worse than we're even talking about. That's my opinion. I don't only think it's bad. I think it's worse than even the media is bringing up. That's what I think. I think it's such a big problem. And I think it's a problem right now that the commissioner of the NBA talks a strong game, but doesn't act on it. We heard strong words from Adam Silver at the NBA All-Star break, correct?
Yes.
So what do teams do? They camouflage their injury reports. Russell Westbrook's out with a sore foot. What does that mean?
Well, okay. Let's take that a step further. Zach LaVine had surgery. Domantas Sabonis had surgery. Had the Kings been in the playoff hunt, top 6, I would love to know if that's something they play through. My guess is Domas, based off of his history, probably plays through it, right? But then you have teams like Utah. You've got to be kidding me. You get Jaren Jackson and now you shut him down for the rest of the season. What about the Wizards? You get Trae Young, you get AD, you shut him down for the rest of the season. To me, if this commissioner was taking this seriously, those are all investigations that you have to look at. And I guess that is where it gets murky because the commissioner's not a doctor. If you have a legit doctor saying, well, yeah, he needs this surgery, where's that middle ground between, well, they would usually play through this, but no, we're going to have surgery.
Teams can't get in trouble if a player has surgery. That's for sure.
Okay. So I guess that's what I'm getting. Great. I bet you could go down every active player that's playing 25 or more minutes a night right now in the NBA, and 25 to 30% probably could use some type of cleanup surgery or something to get them right.
Here's the bottom line with all of this. We, and when I say we, I'm generalizing for sake of conversation to simplify it. We have lost perspective on why these leagues exist. Okay? We've lost perspective on what professional sports is and why it exists. It exists for us, the fans. All sports really does. You can go even to your Pee-wee football game, all right?
Yeah.
Sports, really, when you get down to it, other than the participation of the athletes in the games, exist for the fans. What are sports without the fans? They don't exist other than bowling or playing tennis at your recreation park or pickleball or snow skiing, right?
They don't.
I mean,
they don't
no, really.
exist. They don't exist as we know them. Look at the COVID games where you
Correct.
saw empty NFL and NBA
Correct.
stadiums.
Correct. But again, if I guess as bad as things are in 2026, what's the conversation going to be like 5 years from now? And why is this not a problem in the National Football League? Why is it not a problem in the NHL, which, in my opinion, is a much more rigorous sport than the NBA? You don't have players sitting out games in the NHL. You don't have management sitting out players in the NHL. If you can lace your skates up, get on the ice, okay? You don't have these types of problems in other sports like you have in the NBA. And my question is, why is that? And I think I have the answer.
I think the players have more control than the actual league. And here's where
It comes back to guaranteed contracts and the amount of money that these athletes are making, because now teams truly look at their individuals as commodities
Yes.
and assets. And when you're paying a player $400,000 a game, $500,000 a game, let's take Zach LaVine, for instance. Zach LaVine's going to make what, $50 million next year, right?
Just short. Yeah.
So if Zach LaVine were making $20 million, or if Giannis Antetokounmpo was making one half of what he's making now, do you think the Bucks would manage him differently? I do. What are the Bucks doing, Rhino? You think that Giannis has played his last game in Milwaukee? You said that to me last week. So what are the Bucks doing? They have a commodity.
They're protecting their asset.
That's exactly right. They're protecting their asset. But while they are doing that, they're forgetting why they're in business. They're forgetting why they have a beautiful new building. They're forgetting why they're able to charge the amount of money that they're charging. They forget about why all of their luxury suites are sold out. They're forgetting what the basics are as they, as you said, protect their commodity. That's literally what's going on here. You can't have it both ways, can you?
No, you can't. And their argument's going to be, well, we want to make sure we get the most for him so we can give you a better product when he's gone. I am hopeful in this sense, Grant. I think a lot of this lies with the generation of stars that is on its way out of the NBA right now. And Victor Wembanyama seems to be the spearhead of not doing this. We play the game. And guys are listening. Guys are following. OP even agreed that LeBron James bears a lot of this responsibility. And Grant, he's one of those guys like a Tom Brady that spends millions of dollars on his body every single year.
Good topic. Don't forget the Kings and the Hornets starting a road trip tonight in Charlotte in about 30 minutes. We'll talk about that. Post-game show, obviously, afterwards with Jerry, Rhino, and myself. We'll be right back. We'll continue on this topic. This is Fox Sports Sacramento.
We are Fox. It's the All Things Legal Show, heard every Saturday morning from 8 to 9. Join your host, Craig Ashton, with an entertaining and eclectic view of all things legal. Saturday mornings from 8 to 9. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Are you SAC Alert? Have you signed up to receive emergency alerts via phone, text, email, or app? Well, what are you waiting for? Winter is coming, and that means there is potential for storms and flooding in our county. Don't get caught off guard or left in the cold. Get urgent storm evacuation and shelter information immediately sent directly to your device. Sign up today at sacramento-alert.org. Again, that's sacramento-alert.org. It's free, quick, and easy to do, and could literally be a lifesaver.
Welcome to Par 18 Golf, Northern California's premier TrackMan Golf Performance Center. If you love the game of golf, you're gonna love Par 18 Golf. Par 18 Golf is where serious golfers go to elevate their game to an entirely new level. Par 18 Golf features Ultratech TrackMan practice bays. These are the very same golf simulator systems that PGA players use to perfect their game. TrackMan systems use Doppler radar and high-speed cameras that give you instant feedback on your swing. It analyzes distance, ball spin, face angle, and club path. It's how the world's very best players train, open for both private and group events, with memberships, leagues, and coaching available. It's for serious golfers who demand more from their game. Located inside the historic Nimbus Winery in Rancho Cordova. Open every day by reservation, rain or shine, day or night. Visit par18golf.com today and experience the future of golf performance.
Summer is coming. Backyard parties, barbecues, good times with great people. Take your summer to the next level with an outdoor kitchen or fire pit from Custom Fireside. Custom Fireside has the largest inventory of outdoor kitchen options, fire pits, and fireplaces in the Sacramento area. If you missed us at Capitol Beer Fest, no problem. Now through the end of March, visit one of our 2 locations. Mention Beer Fest and you'll still get Beer Fest savings. Custom Fireside, employee owned and operated in Sacramento and Elk Grove.
Investors, keep listening to learn how to get your free gold report. A currency crisis is upon us. The U.S. dollar has been the world's reserve currency for over 50 years, but that is changing. It's time to protect your retirement. Decades of reckless borrowing and spending have critically weakened the dollar. The U.S. has become the world's biggest debtor with over $35 trillion in debt. Plus, the dollar's become weaponized. Countries are dumping it. Investors who wait until it's too late could lose big. There is one safe haven: gold. Diversify your portfolio with a physical asset they can't take away. Call the Reagan Gold Group right now and ask for your free gold guide. Here's our number:
800-941-4184. 800-941-4184. 800-941-4184. That's 800-941-4184.
Did you hate your heating bill this winter? Fix it with 10-10-20 from Sierra Pacific. 10 years parts and labor warranty, 10 years to pay, and 20% off a new Sierra Pacific comfort system. Plus, this system will get SMUD customers a $3,000 rebate. Lock in the best price of the year on the best option for heating and cooling your home. 10-10-20, only from Sierra Pacific.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air. The guys in the big red trucks.
My retired friends are going back to work. I'm worried Social Security won't be enough. BenefitsCheckup.org connected me to $1,000 a month for food and medicine. It's free. Visit BenefitsCheckup.org today.
Supported by the U.S. Administration for Community Living.
Don't forget Sean Salisbury coming up after Grant's rant. By the way, the soreness is an epidemic in the Sacramento Kings locker room. Precious Achua, sore back. Killian Hayes, he's sore too. You know, this soreness, boy, I don't know. Got to be concerned about these players that are sore and can't play. Incredible. It's a joke. And Adam Silver, you're a joke. Seriously. Yeah, you make a lot of money for your owners with your TV contracts, and good for you, but you don't do anything else for your league. It's embarrassing. Seriously. It's absolutely embarrassing. I don't know what else to say. I can't wait for this season to be over. I can't wait for this season to be over. 10 games left. And then you really focus on something that is completely out of your control, the NBA lottery coming up in May. That's really where Kings fans' whole ray of hope lies. That's it. There's no other hope. Nothing. You have to hope that you get a guy like a Con Knipple. You have to hope that you get a guy like a Dylan Harper. You have to hope that you get a player like Cooper Flagg. You have to hope that you get a player that you see glimpses of being able to take you to the next level. You hope that you get a VJ Edgecombe, right? So that's where we are at, okay? That's where we're at. Ryan, the lottery.
Yeah, it's where we're at. Really quick, while you're talking about you can't wait for the season to be over, I was speaking with a very prominent national reporter last game and talking about the off season, and we kept going back and forth about the solutions to this, and it doesn't seem like there really is a good solution. So I want to ask you, what do you think the best course is for the NBA to curtail this behavior, or at least manage it better?
Well, unfortunately, I think the only way you're going to be able to do it is you have to have the penalty of severe punishments. Because I think we've gotten to a point now, Ryan, where other than a severe punishment, like taking away a team's draft pick, you're not going to be able to curtail this problem, because I think the horses are out of the barn. I don't think teams are capable of managing themselves to the degree that needs to be done. I think the ethics in pro sports is out the window. I think the reason for all of this is beyond comprehension to me. And I think that if you really want to get down to it, Rhino, you're going to have to punish these teams severely. And the only way that is you're going to get someone's attention. What happens if you start taking away lottery picks from teams?
Oh, man, that will change.
What do you think
some
that
things.
would do?
Well,
What do you think if the Kings got a call tonight? Again, I know this isn't going to happen or can't happen, but you said, "Hey, you've lost your first round pick in June." Right? I mean, like if you were able to do an investigation, let's say you did an investigation on a team and you had 100% clear and concise, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, proof that a team was purposely not playing individuals that were under contract that should have been playing, but you weren't playing because of tanking, and you took away a team's first round pick. That would stop it.
yes, it would. It would definitely stop it. And it's not just the fans and the media that are pushing back on this. It's also the gambling companies. You're
Yes.
not getting as much
Correct.
action when you have G League guys playing where you don't have predictable stats
Very true.
on them, So, and I think there were reports, even with those fines with Utah and Indiana, that Adam Silver was getting some heat from the gambling quote unquote partners. I just wonder, are we reaching, and I know it's not there, but are
Yep.
we going to look back on this era as like the rest management era, like the steroid era in baseball, where you don't know who's really hurt or who was doing it, who wasn't? Now we don't know who's really hurt, who really is. Have we gotten to that point?
I think we have.
Really?
Well, we're talking about it every day. Not only
Yeah.
we, but you can't go on any national sports talk program. You can't turn your TV on without hearing about it. And it's nauseating. And I'm tired of talking about it. And after this segment, I'm not going to talk about it.
No.
Because I'm tired of talking about it. But I have to, because it was very important news today from the NBA Players Association. What am I going to do? Ignore it? Can't
No,
ignore it.
You got to talk
They
about it.
basically came out and called out the league. Did they not?
Absolutely. Now, I don't like that they stood up for Giannis.
I know you've been anti-Giannis. I get all of that, but their essence of what they're talking about, you can't argue with.
No, you can't, because they're shooting that out at about 10 different teams and the commissioner. So, and it does affect if you are a good team, right? Let's say you're one of those handful of teams that is in a playoff race or trying to get home court advantage, and you play a couple of these tanking teams down the stretch.
Yeah.
That affects things, right?
Would you, if you were a general manager, right, and you felt like you were one step away, based on, I'm asking you this just based on all the comments you made about Giannis Antetokounmpo, would you want him on your team?
Yeah, I would be fine having him on my team as long as he's locked into a contract, a 4 or 5 year contract. I just think the way he has played this is how De'Aaron Fox could have played it in Sacramento. I mean, the Bucks turned things upside down this offseason or this past offseason to appease him and put a championship team together. And now they're left with an overpaid Miles Turner and in a worse spot than they would have been had Giannis just said, I want to get traded. You knew it was going that way. He gaslit him. But yes, I would take Giannis. I would not. You know how Jerry Reynolds talked about Giannis and Wemby together?
Yes.
Seeing Wemby and what he's done this year, I would not want them together.
You don't need them.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah, it is too much. Absolutely. There's only one basketball on the floor.
Right.
Yep. All right, again, 916-779-0929. The Kings, have you peeked at their starting lineup yet?
I have not.
All right.
You want to guess? You want to guess since we're
I couldn't even name all the guys that are eligible to play tonight.
So okay, you're gonna have Max in the middle.
Yep.
Your forward is probably going to be, maybe you go Max Dillon, or it's Max and Doug McDermott. Devin Carter
Doug
back.
McDermott.
I know. Devin Carter, backcourt, probably Malik Monk, backcourt. And then DeMar DeRozan. See how close we are.
Okay. So you got Reno. Who's your 4?
You might go Cardwell, Reno, and then you could go McDermott, DeRozan, and Carter.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Let's see
Sounds
what it
good.
is. We've got them.
You look it up. You let us know. In the meantime, if you want to comment on the text line or call the show, 916-779-0929. Did you hit it?
Yep. No, I didn't hit it. It's Malik, Devin, Max, Patrick Baldwin Jr. getting the start, and DeMar DeRozan.
What a joke.
The only reason I didn't say Daquan Plowden was he was questionable at one point on the injury report, and then he got upgraded to available.
I thought maybe it was because he's from Bowling Green.
Hey, you Bowling Green guys need to stick together, my friend.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Those Mid-American Conference Bowling Green Falcons. Yes, absolutely. We're going to be talking a lot about the MAC. You know that, right? Beginning in the fall.
Yep.
Yeah, the Mid-American Conference, that will be something we will discuss.
Maybe when Sac State goes and plays Bowling Green, you and I can go to East Wooster Street.
All right, let's go. Let's do our show from Bowling Green on that Friday before the game, and I'll take you out in BG. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You don't need a passport to go to Bowling Green either, okay?
Good to know.
So if you don't have your passport, we're all good.
Good to know.
All right. Hey, one thing you do need, if you're buying a home, selling a home, you need an experienced real estate agent. You need someone that really knows the craft and what they're doing. And that's Spence at Village Financial Group. He is outstanding at what he does. First of all, he's got a family-owned business that he began in 2000. And when it comes to financing and private money, yeah, he's got it. He is a very creative financing specialist. And yes, he has access to private money. If you're not buying a home or selling a home, maybe you want to take the equity out of your home, a home equity line of credit. Spence is an expert at making sure you're doing exactly what needs to be done. He is awesome. And I say that because I've known him for now 26 years. You can go on their website. You can check everything out at vfgloans.com. Thousands of listings available. Or call Spence at 916-805-4868. It makes sense to call Spence at 916-805-4868. Village Financial Group, looking out for your best interest. Just look at it like a white glove boutique shop, one-stop shop. From the finish line, or from the start line to the finish line, Spence will take you there. Again, Village Financial Group, looking out for your best interest. And again, you can text Spence, no problem. Call him or text him, 916-805-4868. Sean Salisbury in an hour after Grant's rant. NCAA tournaments in full force. We're not that far from the Masters in our first major of the year in golf. We've got some NFL news. Oh, yeah, by the way, did you know it's opening day tomorrow in Major League Baseball? The Yankees and the Giants will talk some baseball when we come back right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrud Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrud's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrud's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrud's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrud's. Locally owned for more than 30 years. GUBRUDS.
Call the good dudes at Gabroods. GUBRUDS. Gabroods.com.
Aftershock, the West Coast's largest rock, metal, and punk festival, returns to Sacramento this October with My Chemical Romance.
When you got me what you want to know, we'll carry on.
Tool. Limp Bizkit. Pierce the Veil. Plus, Suicide Boys, Queens of the Stone Age, The Offspring, A Day to Remember, Wu-Tang Clan, Sublime, Danny Elfman, Baby Metal, Public Enemy, Circus Survive, and so many more. 4 days, 135 plus bands, 5 stages. Aftershock takes over Discovery Park October 1st through 4th. My Chemical Romance, Tool, Limp Bizkit, Pierce the Veil. All 4-day, single day, and premium passes are on sale now, starting at only $1 down. Get yours at AftershockFestival.com.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
Grant Napear is back every weekday afternoon, 3 to 6. This is Fox Sports, KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst, K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento.
More doom and gloom in the sports world. I know that you may not be thinking about it with opening day tomorrow. The National Football League. Okay? You ready for this? They are considering new rule proposals, in case they have replacement referees because the officials' contract expires, I think it's May 1st. And so the NFL owners are discussing and maybe vote on changes next week, such as, okay, if replacement referees, okay, are on the field and league staff members could alert the officials if they see clear and obvious evidence of fouls that are not called, penalties that are not called, such as roughing the passer, intentional grounding, or an act that would normally lead to disqualification. Please tell me that we're not going to have replacement referees in the NFL. Please tell me. Please. How do you think 2026, 2027 would go if we had replacement referees in the NFL and no baseball next year? Huh? Because I'm talking about baseball now on the heels of the World Baseball Classic, which was really good. And I'm wondering, when you look at tomorrow's opening game, it's the only game on the card, and you have the Yankees and the Giants. When's the last time, I know last year, but I'm talking about in San Francisco, I'm talking about in our area, that we had an opening day with this type of pop, with this type of sizzle, with this type of interest. Freaking allergies, driving me crazy again. See all this negative news gives me allergies. I'm allergic to all this bad stuff.
You said Westbrook too many times in the open.
I know I did say Westbrook too many times. Killing me, Westbrook. You're out of the game again tonight. Soreness. Killing me. Killing my allergies. Killing me. But seriously, I'm trying to think the last time there was this much pop, this much buzz for an opening night. Because, Ryan, not only is it the Yankees in town to take on the Giants, it's the only game being played tomorrow.
It's pretty
Only
cool.
game being played.
Yeah, I like that they're doing it, but when was the last time an opening day game was behind a paywall?
Yeah, that's a great point. How sad is that for baseball? I was just texting during the break the umpire that's working the series tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
And I was saying, hey, I'll try to watch you if I can watch the game. He goes, what do you mean? I'm like, well, I gotta figure out if it's on my TV, if I can even watch it, if I can pay for it.
Netflix is now dived into baseball.
Exactly right.
I wonder what added coverage they're gonna have on the broadcast.
So what does that mean? If I have a subscription in Netflix, I can see the game?
Correct.
Okay. So I got to watch it on my phone if I can't have it on my TV?
Correct. Or
Okay.
you could put it on your phone and stream it to your TV.
Okay.
You know, there's options.
Do you think Jerry Reynolds could do that?
Little too complicated for Jerry.
Okay.
We still haven't gotten Jerry Reynolds a mic yet for post game.
Okay. So you think that might be a little too difficult for Jerry. Is that right? If you said to Jerry, do you want to watch the Yankees and the Giants? Do you have Netflix? Yeah. Okay. Well, this is what you have to do. Okay.
Well, you know, he goes up to Tahoe so much. I'm guessing they don't have cable up there. He might be savvy with the apps.
Okay.
Netflix is fairly common.
Okay.
But yeah, Netflix and Major League Baseball.
I really shouldn't make fun of Jerry. I don't know if I'd be able to do that either. Streaming from my phone to my TV now that I think about it.
It's so simple. It just takes, you hit cast to TV. That's it. Airplay to TV. You're like, air what? Cast? I won't be able to walk for 4 to 6 weeks.
Do you have the most modern type of phone?
No, not the newest phone that's out.
You have Apple?
I have an Apple. It's
I've never had an Apple phone. Never.
Yeah, and that's what's wrong. You got to go Apple, man. You
Why?
have to. It's just a better device.
How do you know?
It's more
You
simple.
tested them all?
I've had Android before.
I love my Android.
If you're like a PC person, like hardcore, and you like your right click for your, copy and edit, whatever, then Android's for you. But Apple is so straightforward. I'm an Apple guy.
Okay. I'm an Android guy. Got my my Samsung S24 Ultra.
There you go.
The 26 Ultra is out. I'm not getting that. I don't need it. I'm very happy with my phone.
You Androids are getting so complicated with your phones where you can like fold them in half now.
Yeah, I don't fold my phone in half.
I mean,
no. But you've always been an Apple guy. You've never had an Android?
I have had an Android.
Okay, and you
for
didn't
a
like
short
it?
period for
Okay.
work. Yeah, no, I'm Apple all the way.
All right.
Apple TV at home, MacBook Pro, iPad, Apple Pencil, AirPods, iPhone. Hey, did you know that if you had the wits and the foresight to get a iPhone 1 and never open it up, do you know what those are selling for now at auction?
What's that?
Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Get out of here.
No, I'm serious.
You mean if you never took it out of the box?
Never took it out of the box.
You are kidding me.
No. And at that time when they came out, it was like
What, a collector's item? Like, why would someone pay hundreds? Why is that?
It changed technology to a degree. There were no apps before that. Apps started because of the App Store with Apple. And then Android got their Google Store.
Okay.
And then streaming comes along. And you remember when we used to carry around the Walkman and the Discman?
Of course.
You know, and then we went to the iPods, the first generation that
Yeah.
were big and bulky, and then you got the mini ones.
Uh-huh.
Your phone turned into everything. It was a one-stop shop when the iPhone came out.
All right. So if I went and got an Apple phone, hypothetically,
Mm-hmm.
and I've never had an Apple phone, how long would it take for me to learn everything about the phone?
I don't think it would take you long at all,
Okay.
actually.
How different would it be?
It would be different in how you close your applications. Because I think you like right click on your Android and then you have a menu where you can go down and hit close. But no, it would not be hard at all.
Okay.
Actually, they're so simple. Let us know. This is a debate. People are either hardcore. Hey, I'm telling you.
What about for watching sports? That's the one thing I love about my phone. I love the widescreen. I love watching sports on my phone. I'm so happy with everything that I can do on my phone watching sports.
How big is your phone? I'm trying to think.
I don't know. Just look it up online. It's an S24 Ultra.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just telling you the way I feel. It's fine for me. Jerry still have his flip phone?
That's a great question. No, you know what? He might, because he texts me from his iPad all the time because it's an iCloud account. So he might still have a flip phone.
All right, here's a text line. I had on our YouTube streaming page, I had an Apple iPhone. It took 2 months to go back to Android.
Stop. Mole.
I have a feeling that will be me.
Don't be a troll.
Said it would be hard. It would be a hard switch to go to Apple, but I prefer Android as well. Yeah. And the cameras, it's phenomenal on my phone. Phenomenal. Incredible. Matter of fact, whenever I'm with an individual that has an iPhone and we take pictures and I go, I'll take the picture. I have a great camera. And they look at my pictures. They're like, whoa, that is unbelievable. I'm like, yeah, thank you.
Do you have some type of helper on your phone?
No.
Like Siri on iPhones?
I just talk into it. I don't have to go, hey, Siri.
You know, Chris, Haunted Horse and I, he's like you. He's hardcore Android.
Oh, yeah?
He's anti-Apple. So we
Haunted
get into
Horse
this
is-
debate all the time.
He's good. He's I'm not anti-Apple. I didn't say that.
Okay, you're either in one camp or the other. There's not usually the people that are like, oh, yeah, either one's fine. You're either an Apple person or you're an Android person. He's Android like you. The top of the line, this is from A380 Suite. Top of the line, Apple and Android phones all have phenomenal cameras. Yes, they do. Grant, did you know I do my post-game shows with you at the arena off of my phone? It's a good camera.
That is a good camera. Do you know that there have been times that I have joined you if I am out and about on my phone instead of using my real camera with my laptop and everything else?
Okay.
So, yes. Okay.
I mean,
by the way, I want to get to this. Somebody said my thoughts about the renderings of the Sac Republic Stadium. I'm glad you brought that up because we had Kevin Nagel on this show 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and I looked at the renderings earlier today. And again, I'm very happy that you brought this up. This is going to be such a great venue in the rail yards, okay? We're talking about expanded plans for the stadium, more than 20,000 fans, and will be a multi-billion-dollar housing and entertainment complex, all right? This is going to be so incredible that I think it's going to be talked about in other aspects of the country. That's how good I think this is going to be. We're talking about up to 27,000 for concerts, festivals, and other events. All right. I think this is going to be great. It's going to be ready for the 2028 Republic season, Ryan. New elements in the stadium plan include a canopy that will cover stadium seats from the sun. What's the biggest issue that 49er fans have, Ryan, when they go to a 49ers game, particularly in September and early October?
The sun.
Right.
Snapdragon Stadium that they built on the campus at San Diego State, that has been the curse of that stadium. The sun. Brilliant by the Republic. Beautiful, beautiful renderings.
So they're going to have that, okay? And by the way, and I don't think Kevin Nagel would mind me sharing this with him. I met with Kevin Nagel a couple of years ago when we first started talking about a stadium for what we thought was then going to be an MLS team, and then Ron Burkle left the city of Sacramento standing at the altar, all right? And Kevin was talking to me about the stadium that they were going to build. And we had a conversation, and I said, Kevin, you know I'm not a soccer fan, but I'm not stupid. Well, a lot of people think I am stupid, and I'm not going to debate that because you'd probably win that argument. But I said, Kevin, one thing I'm aware of for somebody that does not really follow soccer and has never followed soccer is there's a great demand here for the sport. I said, I see it when I go out to your Republic matches. I see it and I feel it when the World Cup's going on. I said, you'd have to be ignorant and living in a cave not to acknowledge that. I said, I don't think you're going to be putting enough seats in your stadium. He goes, we can add on to it. It's not going to be a problem. But then I'm looking at all of these updates today, Ryan.
Yeah.
In these renderings, and more seats. Okay. More seats, bigger. And I'm looking at all of these renderings, and I'm looking at the seating capacity, and I'm like, bingo. All right. I like this. I think this is going to be really, really great. So I think, Ryan, you're going to have no problem filling that stadium for soccer. Zero issues.
I think tickets will be at a premium.
I agree.
To be honest with you. My man, Michael Storman in the YouTube chat. Hey, blame Michael. Don't blame me. He thinks the stadium could hold a WrestleMania. I don't think it holds a WrestleMania, but you're going to get some good WWE stadium shows out of that place.
By the way, the reason why we got into this conversation with Kevin is when the first plans were released and he was sharing them with me, the number was 12,000. I said, Kevin, 12,000 is not enough. You're going to easily get 20 to 25,000 every night. Easily. Guarantee it. Done deal.
Well, they sold out Hughes Stadium. What's that? That's right around 20, right?
Yep. So you know what's great? This is going to be a 20,000 seat stadium, and there's going to be a roof over every seat. How about that?
It's huge. That is so
You're going to play in the summer? You got to be shielded from the sun.
You know,
right?
Yeah, and this is, even with high school events, this could attract the CIF state championships for football. You can bring that back up north or switch
Absolutely.
it with SoCal.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Absolutely. You're going to be able to do so many things with this venue.
I mean, Grant.
How about Sac State football?
You just took it out of my mouth. I don't see Sac State doing anything better than this.
It's surely not going to be a Cal Expo.
No. And no disrespect to Sac State football, but the location close to downtown.
It's perfect. If you're not going to build it on campus, and it appears that's not going to happen, assuming that you're going to be able to survive 5 years of the MAC paying millions of dollars to fly everybody around the country, but assuming, Ryan, that you, after the 5 years in the MAC, you go to the Pac-12 or whatever, If you're not going to build a stadium on campus, Rhino, hello, right? You're going to have a 20,000-seat facility, state-of-the-art, great location, not that far from campus. Why not?
See, that would get people. I think that would get some people to go for one time, to go to that stadium. If it turns out the way the renderings look.
You know what? I would go to a Sac State football game at the new stadium. I would never go to a Sac State football. Wait a minute. I would never go to a Sac State football game currently on campus where they play now, because I'd rather go to watch a high school game.
I asked that question all along. And you know Kevin better than I do. Is there a way that becomes a partnership where Sac State doesn't have to build a stadium?
There's always a way. Always a way. Okay? There's always a way. Yes. Listen, if you're Sacramento State and you just pitched this big football plan, and you know that where you play currently on campus is not the answer, and you are going to need a solution, hello, you've got a stadium that's under construction, that's going to be state-of-the-art, and you don't get 20,000 people to your games right now, so the stadium is big enough, and you're going to be able to put in 20,000 to a state-of-the-art facility in basically a great location in terms of accessibility, not that far from your campus.
And think about the proximity to the airport for the teams traveling in as well.
That's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. I mean, the teams aren't going to go right from the airport to the stadium. They're going to stay at a hotel, then go to the stadium.
Yeah, but you have everything right there. You don't have to.
Yeah, but that whether it's Cal Expo or on campus or that's not a big deal.
Have you been on the capital city lately? Feels like the construction. It feels like the construction.
I know, but that's not a big deal in terms of the whole scheme of things. Like, that's not even on the list. What's on the list, Ryan, is having a state-of-the-art facility, okay, where you just said it. You just said it perfectly, Rhino. Would it attract an individual to go to a game that would never go to the game? And I already said I would go. So if I'm going to go, how many others are going to go? Yeah, I'd go to a game to check out the stadium. Then what happens if you go and you had a great experience and you're like, wow,
yep,
maybe you go again.
Spot on.
Right? And then all of a sudden, what happens? You build up your fan base, right?
Yeah.
And you get something going.
Spot on. Spot on.
With that said, we'll take a break. Kings and the Hornets have started. Their road trip is underway. We'll check in on that and a lot more next here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Summer is coming. Backyard parties, barbecues, good times with great people. Take your summer to the next level with an outdoor kitchen or fire pit from Custom Fireside. Custom Fireside has the largest inventory of outdoor kitchen options, fire pits, and fireplaces in the Sacramento area. If you missed us at Capitol Beer Fest, no problem. Now through the end of March, visit one of our 2 locations. Mention Beer Fest, and you'll still get Beer Fest savings. Custom Fireside, employee owned and operated in Sacramento and Elk Grove.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Homeowners, if you have an electrical project you need done, then you need the good dudes at Gabrudes. Family owned and operated for 30 years, Jay Gabrude and his team are the area's recognized experts for everything electrical, from the very basic like repairs, lighting upgrades, and whole house fans, to the biggies, panel replacements, EV stations, and backup generators. Gabrudes does it all and does it right the first time. They're actually the guys their competition recommends. Gabroods, expert 5-star service and always transparent, honest prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Visit gabroods.com or call 24/7 and speak with a real live person. Gabroods, Gubruds.
Call the good dudes at Gabroods, Gubruds, Gabroods.com.
Aftershock, the West Coast's largest rock, metal, and punk festival, returns to Sacramento this October with My Chemical Romance.
When you got me what you want to know, we'll carry on.
Tool, Limp Bizkit, Pierce the Veil, plus Suicide Boys, Queens of the Stone Age, The Offspring, A Day to Remember, Wu-Tang Clan, Sublime, Danny Elfman, Baby Metal, Public Enemy, Circa Survive, and so many more. 4 days, 135 plus bands, 5 stages. Aftershock takes over Discovery Park October 1st through 4th. My Chemical Romance, Tool, Limp Bizkit, Pierce the Veil. All 4-day, single day, and premium passes are on sale now, starting at only $1 down. Get yours at AftershockFestival.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Sean Salisbury, he's going to be coming on after Grant's rant. Kings were down 10. They're on a mighty 5-0 run. And with halfway through the first quarter, the Charlotte Hornets are on top by the score of 20-15. Kings, I think, have, 8 guys in uniform tonight, Rhino, if I'm not mistaken? I'd have to double-check
8
on that.
players in uniform. Max Reynaud leading the way right now, 8 points for the Kings.
He's pretty much a very consistent performer now in his rookie year, is he not?
Yeah, he's definitely going to make second team all rookie.
Oh, no question.
I personally believe he should be on the first team, but I don't think they'll go that way because it's basically positionless.
Oh, the Athletic came out, listed their top rookies, and they had him at number 6.
So there's still room. I mean, he's got this game and 9 more.
Yeah, assuming he plays in every game. He might get, a sore ankle or something.
I don't see Max being rest managed. There's no reason to. He's a rook.
There's no reason to rest manage anybody.
I mean, to a degree, there is, because I don't want to, how do I put this? Because of the minute distribution, I don't mind some of the guys that are being rested because it's giving younger players more opportunity. And I think watching like a Doug McDermott play with the younger guys, a DeMar DeRozan play with the younger guys, they're getting more out of it than they were with some of the other vets on the floor.
Again, I just can't wait for the season to end. After tonight, 9 games. Seriously.
Yeah. And then we wait for the lottery.
That's correct. Yep, you wait for the lottery.
They usually do the lottery at the start of the second round of the playoffs, Grant?
I believe that's correct. It's normally right around the 15th to the 20th of May, generally.
Okay.
You can look it up. Just say, when is the NBA lottery on your iPhone?
I will do that.
Yeah. I'm sure it will give you a real, make sure you say, hey, Siri, okay?
I can choose what voice I want Siri to be in. If I want a British accent.
Oh, nice. Can you put it in my voice?
Grant, my ears already bleed enough, my friend.
Okay.
I mean,
you said you could put it on any voice.
Yeah.
Can you put it on, Vin Scully's voice, the late Vin Scully?
You cannot do that with Siri, but you could do it for a ringtone if you wanted it to.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Kings
Just curious.
The Kings are hanging in there. They're trying.
916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. I did not look. I have not even looked at my NCAA bracket. Have you looked at your NCAA bracket as we get ready for the Sweet 16 on Thursday?
I'm still trying to pick up the pieces. It broke a long time ago.
Oh, so you're done, huh? I have no idea where I'm at on that thing. I got to look.
Sunday, May 10th is the lottery.
May 10th. Okay. So it's on a Sunday.
Yes.
Oh, that's not that. Really?
Yes. It says the 2020.
It's never been on a Sunday before. It's always in the middle of the week.
It says the date is Sunday, May 10th. It will determine the top 4 picks.
So I know what I'm talking about on Sunday, May 11th at 3:00.
Yes, we will be busy that day.
Huh. So you haven't looked at your NCAA bracket?
Every time I've checked, I've been at the bottom.
You're at last place?
I was.
Okay.
Yes. I
I should check. I haven't checked. I don't even know what I'm at. You told me I was like 4th. And one time you told me I was 2nd.
You were first.
After the early morning games. Well, after one game, I was 1st. After the one game.
Who filled out your bracket? I know it wasn't you.
I filled out my bracket. It took me about 90 seconds.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're pulling it up right now.
Okay.
See who
the Hornets lead the Kings 29-19 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Opening day tomorrow in baseball. I want to gauge your interest. I want to know, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you with your baseball interest in 2026? Where are you? 1 to 10. Tomorrow, Giants hosting the Yankees. Max Fried, Logan Webb, game 1 of 162. The A's will open up on the road. They open up in Toronto. They go to Atlanta. They come home for 3 games against Houston, and then they're right back on the East Coast taking on the Yankees. Where is your interest with the Major League season beginning tomorrow on a scale of 1 to 10? Hit me up. Just give me a number on the text line, 916-779-0929. And I asked this question on my podcast last night on my Open Forum Monday, and I want to get your opinion. How much... Because I've always said this is our show. It's not just my show. It's our show. How much baseball would you like to hear on this show? What do you think? You want me to spend time talking about the A's this year? I got a lot of negativity on that on my show last night. And I'm like, well, they are in Sacramento. I mean, I have to talk about them. I will talk about them. I think the A's actually are going to be pretty decent this year. Not great, but I think they're going to be respectable. And they play in Sacramento. So you got the season starting tomorrow. I know we have a lot of Giants fans in the area. The A's are playing in Sacramento. Where are we at? Somebody said, I'm a Padres fan. I'm at a 9. Somebody chiming in 10. What's your number? 916-779-0929. Where are you when it comes to baseball? Lukewarm? Warm? Very warm? Hot? What would you like in terms of baseball coverage on this show? And as I said, I think with the A's playing here in Sacramento, and I understand that there's a lot of hostility, and I get all of that. All right? And I'm not going to go overboard with it, although I think they could have a pretty good year. I like their lineup. They have some exciting young players. Their real issue is their pitching. We get that. I'm looking at that division. I think Seattle should run away and hide. Well, actually, maybe not run away and hide. That may be a little unfair. But clearly, they have the best roster. They have the best lineup. But I'm looking at that A's lineup. That is going to give opposing pitching staff some issues. The problem is the arms on the A's. Like, how is that going to hold up? That is the biggest issue. Meanwhile, you look at the Giants, a lot of people feel that they're going to be a wild card team this year. I don't think they contend for the division because it's the Dodgers. We get that. And I think when you look at the Padres, the Giants, the Diamondbacks, those three teams are going to be battling out for second in the NL West. Somebody said I'm a 9 with baseball this season. Go Yankees. But I'm looking at the Giants. I could see them finishing second in that division. You know, you have a rookie manager. We have to just wait and see how that all unfolds. You have a very good division outside of Colorado. I mean, we know about the Dodgers. The Padres are good. The Diamondbacks should be good. The Giants could be good. You certainly have a lot of possibilities in the NL West other than the Colorado Rockies. So I'll talk some baseball. You know, we had on FP Santangelo yesterday. I reached out to Steve Sachs yesterday. He got back to me. He's going to be on with me in a couple of days. Said, warm on baseball. Go Angels. Please talk baseball. I'll talk some baseball. I don't know how much I'm going to talk Angels. Are the Angels even in the league anymore? When's the last time the Angels were relevant? I really mean that. Can you believe that they had Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani on that team? When's the last time the Angels were relevant? Seriously. Think about the Angels in that market being that bad. Right? It's embarrassing.
It would be the rally monkey.
The rally monkey. We're going all the way back to the rally monkey,
Has to be, yeah. It's the rally monkey.
Okay. What year was that?
2001, 2002? That was the year they beat the Giants, right?
Was that 2001, 2002? I'd have to look it up. All right.
Or maybe it was 2003. I'll look it up as well.
916 says A's finished better than the Giants. I'm not ready to go that far yet, are you? But you like the A's. You think they're going to be in the playoffs. You were telling me this on the yesterday show. You think the A's are a playoff team,
Yeah, I think
correct?
they sneak in as a wild card. I think it's going to be a fun, exciting season in Sacramento.
Well, that's good, and it would be phenomenal. I would love to talk about that. You know, if you have a lot of atmosphere at the ballpark.
Yeah.
You know, you're here 81 games, right? We know the Giants series is going to be fun. The Yankees come in May. That team north of New York will be in. You have it should be fun.
That team north of New York was snow.
That team north of New York, not Toronto. There's another team north of New York. Can't remember that.
You think Toronto is going to make some noise again this year?
Yeah, I do. I'm looking at their lineup. I think that Toronto, the Yankees, to me, when I'm looking at their staff and the health, and Garrett Cole should be back in May or June, assuming that Garrett Cole is good with Fried and the rest of that lineup. Here's the problem I have with the Yankees, and you know my problem. They don't put the ball in play enough.
Yep.
But I think they win that division, and I think Toronto and Baltimore battle them for that division.
Bold question of the day. First one. Are you taking the Dodgers to win the World Series or the field?
I'm taking the Dodgers because they have an all-star lineup and an all-star pitching staff. Now, with that said, that Game 7, the Blue Jays had many opportunities to win that World Series.
Sure did.
So I wouldn't say they're head and shoulders above everyone else just based on what I saw in the World Series. But what did the Dodgers do? They still went out and got players, and they're even better to me this year than they were last year.
The Dodgers are...
How do you beat the Dodgers? Seriously, other than injuries, how do you beat them?
Really good pitching, knuckleball. I don't know.
Here's the 530. Talk baseball, please. Dodgers fan here it said, forget the season. I'm ready for the playoffs. See, that is the arrogance of the Dodger fan right now. And I get that because they're right. That's exactly what they're thinking. Said, yes, talk baseball, especially Giants. Could you get Dusty Baker on the show? Would like to hear some good stories. I'll get Dusty on. I texted him yesterday and we missed each other. I will get Dusty on. Yes.
Do you think the Dodgers do just play it to get to the playoffs, or do you think they're going to win 115 games?
I think they want to be great. They want to be a dynasty, so I could see that happening.
Okay.
I don't know if they can win 115 games. That division's too balanced to me. 53010, go A's. 916, sad truth, Grant. Sad truth about what? But yeah, a lot of people are saying talk baseball. I mean, I would love to talk baseball. I'm not crazy about baseball, but it gives me content. And listen, the A's are here, whether you agree with that or not, whether you like that or not. For the time being, there is a Major League Baseball team making Sacramento their home. And here's the other deal. This might be the last opening day ever in Sacramento. They may not be baseball next year when you look at the labor problems and how they seem to be miles apart.
I thought Major League Baseball was coming to Sacramento.
Who told you that?
It's not?
No.
Oh.
It's not.
Okay.
No, it's not.
So we're going to have to get the whatever the MLB package is so we can watch all these games?
Well, I don't know what you watch the games on now, but once the A's go in their new ballpark in Vegas and there's no Major League Baseball here in Sacramento, I'm not really sure how you're going to go watch your games. So you'd have to figure that out on your own, Rhino.
I'm talking about this season, so we can stay up on baseball. If we're going to be watching baseball, we got to be able to watch all the games.
Go ahead. What are you going to tell me? What are you going to do? You're going to get the MLB package?
Probably.
Okay. You're going to charge it to the station?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We have to be informed, right?
Yes. Tell the boss we need 2. I need 1 too, please.
Okay. We will do that.
Yeah.
Hey, boss, 2 MLBs, por favor. Sorry, Kurt.
Hey, oh my gosh.
Hey, really quick. Have you seen some of the food that they're serving?
Yes.
At these parks this year?
I have. It's unbelievable. Yes.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'll just stay at home and watch the games instead of going and sampling all of that. So it's out of control, is it not? Is it out of control or not? It's out of control. I mean, it really is. Hey, DAS Mechanical. I want to talk about what they're doing for the community. Do you know someone, or maybe you, a friend, a veteran, that needs a heating or air conditioning unit? Well, guess what? DAS Mechanical is donating a heating or air conditioning unit to a family or individual in need. That's right. A heating or air conditioning unit will be installed by DAS Mechanical. It is very simple to nominate yourself or somebody you know. You go to dasmechanical.org. That's D as in dog, A, S as in Sam, mechanical.org. You just click on the 2026 HVAC donation tab. Fill out a very simple form. Nominate yourself or, again, somebody you know, and DAS Mechanical will pick out the winner and install a heating or air conditioning unit. DAS Mechanical, locally owned, serving Sacramento and Placer counties, family-owned business for all of your HVAC repair and service. They're awesome. Go to dasmechanical.org. We'll come back. We'll get to some phone calls. That's next right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
There's a great American pastime that the entire family can enjoy together, located right outside of Sacramento. The Golden State Shooting Center welcomes you. The Golden State Shooting Center is an 80-acre clay target shooting facility. It's the home of numerous youth sport shooting teams from the region. Over 1,000 high school students from Northern California are on sports shooting teams, and 10 of the Western United States' top shooting teams train at Golden State Shooting Center. New members are being accepted now. For details, visit goldenstateshootingcenter.com.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
Get the best. Bridgestone tires are engineered to keep your world moving, and that's what really matters. Now through March 31st, buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires and get $80 back on a Bridgestone prepaid MasterCard. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. For the best selection in Bridgestone tires, get to Expert Tires and Brakes at 5810 Auburn Boulevard. Expert Tires and Brakes. Save big and get their 60-minute install guarantee. Expert Tires and Brakes, 5810 Auburn Boulevard. That's Expert Tires and Brakes.
Hey golfers, we got something special to tell you. Par 18 Golf Training Center has arrived. Par 18 Golf is a cutting-edge golf performance and training center designed to up your game to an entirely new level. Par 18 Golf trains with TrackMan performance systems. TrackMan practice bays utilize Doppler radar and high-speed cameras that capture every motion and aspect of your swing, from your posture and stance to the flight angle and trajectory of the ball and its distance and speed. TrackMan practice bays are the same system that PGA and LPGA professionals use to perfect their game. Whether you're sharpening your short game, dialing in driver distance, or preparing for tournament play, Par 18 Golf is where performance meets precision. You'll train smarter, perform better, and compete with an entirely new level of confidence. Visit par18golf.com today and experience the future of golf performance. Open anytime by reservation. Visit par18golf.com to make your reservation.
Don't forget Grant's Rant coming up at the top of the hour. Sean Salisbury after that. Right here on Fox Sports Sacramento, 916-779-0929. Let's get to Grass Valley and say hello to Billy. Hello, Billy. How are you?
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Billy, what's going on today? What can I do for you?
I hear you talking about the athletics, and I've been a fan of certain players for many years, but they're no longer playing. But the fact we got the ability and a drive that isn't as far, I mean, these are capable players. I mean, we should not forecast doom if we realize that this is a game. You know, this is supposed to have the ability to each team to win. And these players, by the time they get to the major leagues, are capable. So,
well, the A's have good players. The A's have some of the most exciting young players in baseball. Nick Kurtz is one of the most exciting players in baseball. Jacob Wilson, their shortstop, is a young, exciting player. I mean, they've got good players on their team. It's not like you wouldn't go out and see some outstanding talent. They got some really good talent.
Well, I hear just in general, not you specifically, but maybe a little bit, is the negativity towards why they're here. You know, I mean, negativity breeds negativity. And the Sac State stuff, I used to play concerts there in band, you know, competitions. And I went to Chico State. They got rid of the football team my freshman year. All those players were like, what? You know, and so I think wherever Sac State is trying to build their team, you don't have to lie about what's really going on, but it's not. They need to progress, you know, and with that takes encouragement and a fan base that helps.
Yeah, but there is the thing about right or wrong. I mean, when you say they have to progress, at what cost? And at what point do we talk about a college and a university? Like you said, you went to Chico State, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Did you go to Chico State to get an education, or did you go to Chico State for another reason?
I went for an education.
Okay.
We won the College World Series without any scholarship players. So
okay, so here's my point. Right now, we have colleges that play on the West Coast that are in leagues that are on the other side of the country, 2,000 and 3,000 miles away. And we have players now that are on 4 and 5 teams during their college careers. They go from one team to another team the next year, to another team the next year, to another team. And as John Calipari said the other night, he said, does anybody think these players are graduating? And when they leave college, they don't have a degree? And you think they're going to be able to go back to college and get a degree for free? And he kept on talking about all of this. You know, have we lost our perspective on what college is for?
Sorry about that. Well, we know how all the players in sports get a little bit of a free pass, and they're trying to get out to get that money, and maybe they are not as developed as they should be. Like, you know, they still need some work. But to me, progression, meaning getting better, you know, or getting the right scheme, that's like what we all try to do.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. But here's the stark reality. Less than 1% of all athletes in college go on to play professionally. So we're talking about a very, very, very small minority of athletes that go play Division I sports that end up going on to play professionally. Now, there is the name, image, and likeness money right now, but the left guard for Sacramento State and the center and the right guard, and I can go on and on. It's not like they're making a lot of money where they don't have to graduate. And I'm not saying they won't graduate, but I'm just saying it's not like they're going to be taken care of financially to a point where it doesn't matter whether they graduate or not. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, I think that there's still, I mean, I'm more on the hope side, but until that equation is set by their actions, who the heck knows?
Yeah.
You know, and being that we're from this area, why talk down on them? You know,
listen, it's not. Listen, you keep on saying talk down on them. Can I correct you on that, please? And I think that wait a minute. Being critical doesn't necessarily mean you're talking down on someone. It means that you're giving a perspective of what you think is right and wrong, as opposed to being talked down on. My job, and again, I know you're not necessarily pointing at me, but I'm just going to use me as an example. I've been very critical of Sacramento State to the Mid-American Conference in football. It doesn't make any sense to me. I think the dollars and cents and the economic, I guess, assessment doesn't make any sense to me. You're going to bring in $985 million to the Sacramento economy over 5 years. I'm sorry, Billy, that doesn't pass the smell taste to me. And so I've been critical of that because it doesn't add up. It makes no sense. Now, could I be wrong? I guess I could. I guess I could be wrong. But that doesn't mean I'm talking down on it. It means that I'm raising genuine concerns that I think need to be addressed.
Well, I'm sorry, but the way I listen to it and hear it, it sounds like they're pieces of not good. And why are they even trying? And really,
they're trying because they have dreams of playing Division I football.
Well, then they'll get better. I mean, I've like a ski hill. You go down a diamond and you crash. The next 3 times you get a little better. Now you can do the double diamond. You know, it's a progression again. So
it's progression. What happens if you have to lay off 25% of your professors at your university because you don't have any money? What happens if you have to? I mean, I can go on and on. I mean, we're seeing cuts all across universities. I'll read you a story in a moment that I saw about what Rutgers just had to do, who also is trying to go big time when they went to the Big Ten and everything. But, Billy, listen, I understand the point you're trying to make. I appreciate you listening to the show, and I appreciate you calling the show. Thank you.
Thank you, and I appreciate you taking my call. And I played 5 sports, so I've been up in it and know what kind of. I became a professional skier, but not the best.
Wow.
But you know, I know the progression is my favorite thing because you know you get better and better and better. But if people around you are telling you suck or this is stupid, you will have less of a. Unless you're Rocky, you'll have less of a good outcome.
Only worry about criticism from people that know you. If people say you suck or whatever, if they don't know you, don't know anything about you, then don't worry about it. But yes, I understand the point you're trying to make. Thank you, Billy.
The image. Okay, thank you, sir. I know you got to go.
No, listen, I appreciate your call. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank.
Yep, appreciate it. How about that? A professional skier. No, thank you. Ryan, you're going to go downhill going 100 miles an hour and crash like we saw Lindsey Vonn? No, thank you.
Grant, I can't even get off the lift.
You can't get on the lift then if you can't get off it. That's your problem.
That's the hardest part for me.
Getting off the lift or getting on the lift?
Getting off the lift.
Well, I want to congratulate you for being able to get on the lift. That's very good. So that's good.
Yeah, no, like because I usually, or in my old days before surgery, I would snowboard, and you only have 1 foot clicked into your board, and so you gotta, just never really worked out too well.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very good to me. By the way, I've never snowboarded. I've only skied. And other than the bunny lift, when I was just starting out, I never had a problem with the lift. After I mastered that, I was good to go. But so getting off the lift was challenging for you, huh?
It was. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did they have to stop the whole thing because you had crashed and you didn't want to get killed?
A time or two. Yeah. I think they did.
And everybody behind you's cursing because they got to stop the lift and they want to start to run. But there's this buffoon in front of me that doesn't know how to get off the lift and blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so to be fair, if I'm doing that on the bunny hill, you can't get on me because the bunny hill is for the beginners. Now, if I'm doing that to go up like a black diamond, like go ahead, throw the tomatoes, lob the insults.
Listen, if you're trying to go down the black diamond and you can't get off the lift, you're probably not the right idea. Okay,
yeah, probably not a good idea.
I mean, I'm just telling you, it's probably not the right idea to attempt to go down the black diamond if you can't get off the lift.
So the first time that I ever went snowboarding, you know how like you'll be people your family will say like that's your aunt, that's your uncle, and your cousins, you're just good friends. Well, anyways, we went snowboarding with my cousins who had done it many times before. They're like, oh, we'll teach you. It's not that easy. The end of the day, I had never felt more beat up in my life. Could not stay up. I think at one point I let my snowboard go down the mountain, which I got a stern lecture.
Oh, wow. That's not good.
That was not good. But I was like 12 years old. So
that's still not good.
Yeah, it was not good. I was frustrated.
Well, you're the person that got hit and almost broke their ankle from the snowboard propelling down the mountain wasn't very happy with you either.
No, they were not. No, that was
what's wrong with you, by the way? Seriously, what's wrong with you?
A lot of things. Where do you want to start?
Snowboard going down the mountain. What's wrong with you?
I was just like, screw it. And I just let it go. Yeah, that was not a good day. But then I took a lesson and everything looked up from there. So if you've never snowboarded, the lesson of this story is get a lesson before you go.
But you're you preferred snow. You can't do it now with all the hip replacements, knee replacements. But so snowboarding was your thing over skiing, correct? You didn't like the skiing?
Yeah. Skiing was okay. I just enjoyed snowboarding more. Yeah.
All right.
It was cool. Okay. I can see you looking all nice, coming down the black diamond. Got your hair going in the wind. You got the goggles on. Probably not wearing a big heavy jacket.
No, I never had a heavy jacket.
Yeah. See?
No. I used to go skiing all the time in Park City when we were playing the Jazz, and I would ski for a half a day. Yeah.
Is it really worth it for a half a day, though?
Yeah, it was great. I'd get up early. Yeah, because there was nobody there in the middle of the week, and you get a lot of runs in. Yeah, it was more than worth it. Okay. I was very tired at the end. Yeah, it was great.
That's so cool, because that's like one of those destination places to ski.
Yeah. All right. Don't forget Grant's Rant, and Sean Salisbury is going to be coming on after that. So we've got all of that to talk about. Hope you are having a good afternoon. Opening day tomorrow, and I'm seeing that, there are people that are saying, we need to talk some baseball. I'm into that. And by the way, Sean Salisbury, he loves baseball. I guarantee he'll be watching the game tomorrow. He's big time into baseball. So Grant's Rant coming up next. Then Sean, right here on the Tuesday edition of the Grant Napear Show on Fox Sports Sacramento.
homeowners. For any electrical project you need done, trust the good dudes at Gabroods. Locally owned, 5-star service experts, always transparent prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Call Gabroods or visit Gabroods.com. G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
It's the All Things Legal Show, heard every Saturday morning from 8 to 9. Join your host, Craig Ashton, with an entertaining and eclectic view of all things legal. Saturday mornings from 8 to 9. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-444-2013. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-444-2013. That's 800-444-2013. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-444-2013. 800-444-2013.
Get the best. Bridgestone tires are engineered to keep your world moving, and that's what really matters. Now through March 31st, buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires and get $80 back on a Bridgestone prepaid MasterCard. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. For the best selection in Bridgestone tires, get to Express Tires at 7215 Watt Avenue in Sacramento. Express Tires. Save big and get their 60-minute install guarantee. Get to Express Tires at 7215 Watt Avenue now. Express Tires.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Having an elite receiver in the NFL is a luxury. It simplifies everything for a QB, forces defenses to account for one player on every snap. The big plays that follow can change a game. The question is, how much are they really worth? Receivers are now being paid like franchise quarterbacks. Jackson Smith-Njigba is making over $42 million a year with Seattle. The contract won't give you much pause with Seattle's roster, but that type of money hasn't worked everywhere else. Jamar Chase and the Bengals have disappointed since his extension. Justin Jefferson in Minnesota, CeeDee Lamb and the Cowboys, DK Metcalf in Pittsburgh, Garrett Wilson with the Jets, all searching for stability. None of this diminishes the players, it just highlights the cost. When you commit that much money to one receiver, something else gives. Depth thins out, roster flaws become harder to fix, and in this league, scoring points is only part of the equation. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. 2 words, prostate exam. Relax. Screening starts with a simple finger-free blood test. Around 1 in 8 men in the United States will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. Prostate cancer can have over a 99% 5-year relative survival rate when caught at a localized or regional stage. If you're 40 or over and have a prostate, visit relaxitsabloodtest.com to see if a PSA blood test is right for you. Talk to your doctor about screening and the next steps. Sponsored by Novartis. Tires matter. They're the only part of your vehicle that touches the road. Tread confidently with new tires from Tire Rack. Whether you're looking for expert recommendations or know exactly what you want, Tire Rack makes it really easy. Fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, convenient installation options, and the best selection of Goodyear tires. Go to TireRack.com/Dan. See their Goodyear test results, tire ratings, and reviews. Be sure to check out all the special offers. TireRack.com. The way tire buying should be.
Grant's back. Join the conversation every weekday afternoon beginning at 3 p.m. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst, K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento.
It's time for Grant.
You know, I'm talking about the NFL, and I'm talking about like they're going to meet next week to talk about possible rule changes in case they have replacement refs on the field this fall. How about just getting a deal done with the refs? All right, we've already seen what a disaster replacement officials are in all sports. And then we garner a little more respect for the individuals that are on the field or on the court officiating, and we understand, gee, they're pretty good when you see how bad the replacement officials are. Forget about like implementing new rules. Fix your damn sport. Get a deal done with the refs. We're talking about a multi-billion-dollar business here. That's right, a multi-billion-dollar business here. And with the increased advent of gambling, and let's make no bones about this, okay? Gambling has a lot to do with this. And if you think there are issues now as it pertains to gambling and professional sports, just wait and see what happens when you put replacement officials on the field. You think you got issues now? You think you have kind of gray area now? Yeah. See what happens when you put replacement officials on the field in the National Football League. Forget about talking about new rules. Forget about implementing new rules for replacement refs. Get the damn deal done with your existing refs. And as I said, you'll appreciate what you had when you don't have it anymore. We've been through this before. And again, with the advent of gambling, with the prevalence of gambling and gambling sponsorships and everything else, you think you got issues now? Wait until you see NFL replacement refs. So stop the nonsense of changing the rules and implementing new systems for possible replacement refs. Get a damn deal done with your existing refs, would you please? And that's my rant for today. All right, each and every Tuesday at this time, it's always great to talk to Sean Salisbury. Sean, how are you?
Doing well, Grant. Good rant, brother. I'm doing very well.
I mean, get a deal done with the refs. Would you? That we're having the owners vote on possible changes to rules and enforcing. I mean, stop it with the nonsense. We got enough problems already.
Yeah, Grant. I think we do a fairly poor job in the NFL. I mean, this is just we every off season change rules that even if the rules are working, it almost feels like they do it for the optics. Let's just change the rules to let them know we're doing something. Sometimes you can go into an off season and say, you know what? No rules need changed. We just need to make them better. We just need to execute the rules we do have and do them better. But it's almost like, well, it's a time. Let's read the rules committee. I just wondered if the rules committee, I understand change happens a lot, but if you're running a company, forget the NFL, and your goals were $500 million in sales at some big corporation, and all of a sudden and you've exceeded that. My goal would be, okay, how do we keep this going and add to it? Not let's break this down to the bare minimum and start all over. I'm so tired of it, the rules, and you're exactly right. We are such a bottom line. It exists in your and I business. It exists in the NFL that you can't keep letting the bean counters and cutting costs everywhere, especially when you're a multi-billion-dollar organization.
Amen.
Let's get it done with the experts. Let's get it done right. Quit worrying about, well, what if we have replacement refs? How about saying we're not going to have replacement refs? We'll have it because what a black eye and what a egg on the face it will be for the NFL. Things are rolling to be able to do this and let it stop down. I do think it's optics. I don't think there's a way in hell that they allow replacement refs to start that opening game when we kick off in the fall. I think it'll be posturing, but I don't believe for 1 second that the intention or that you would allow it to get to this point. But in the meantime, let's fill the distractions with this change in rules. And I got a rule to change. Let the quarterbacks get hit like the rest of the world. How about that? We play we play tackle football in the NFL. It's a violent, mean game. Protect the dirty hits, but good, hardcore, violent football that's legal. That's what we like to watch. Hockey does it. Let us play without being the cheap shots and let it go. But we spend so much time on stuff we don't need to. It's almost like you try to put cologne on crap and think, well, it's going to smell like cologne the whole time. No, eventually the cologne wears off and it's still crap. So get it fixed.
You are a huge baseball fan. Opening night tomorrow. For some inexplicable reason, you root for that team north of New York. I've never figured that out, considering you're a SoCal boy.
Yeah.
Shame on you. Shame on you. Would you take the Dodgers?
I'm not apologizing. There
okay.
You go.
Hey, would you take the Dodgers or the Fields to win the World Series?
Grant, when's the last time we had I was thinking about this in college hoops. The last time we had a back-to-back or win the title was Florida, I think, under Billy Donovan, correct? I think
great
so.
Point.
In college basketball, and that's been a minute. And Florida had a chance, but they got knocked off. And this, with Iowa and their shooting. So look at the Major League Baseball. I mean, Well, when's the last time that happened? Was it, but the Yankees before this, right? It's hard to win 2, let alone 3 and keep on rolling. So I'd take the field. I think the odds are, you're counting on staying healthy the whole time, making sure you're pitching staff. Now the Dodgers are loaded. Hell, some teams are 6 players away from being 6 players away. They're 6 players away from getting to some backups that are still World Series type players. They're loaded as always. But for me, I just think the constant grind and hoping you stay healthy and making sure you make all the right decisions, it's hard to do. Now they got rings and they've earned them, but it's hard to continue to sustain that and then stay healthy. Give me the field in this one. I didn't take the Dodgers to win it all last year. Well, we know how it turned out, so good on them. But I think my odds are always in favor of taking the field. I'll do that. And if the Dodgers do it again, then more teams ought to, I guess, spend the money they have to try and get good players. So they're going to be tough to deal with, but that's a tough division too. There's some good teams in that division.
Sean, I've been talking about the American League West, the temporary home currently for the A's, and I like their young lineup. I don't think their pitching is very good. Seattle should win that division. You're in Houston. You follow the Astros a lot. Best case scenario for the Astros is what?
I make the playoffs right now. I mean, and depending on, the staff's health, who are some of these guys? Hunter Brown moves into the number 1 slot. He is a full-blown stud. You no longer have the premier lefty. You sign, from Japan, you signed a premier pitcher. For them, it's simply, Grant, the last few years, they have the clutch hitting with runners in scoring position. They have struggled mightily. I'm talking about mightily. It's been almost as if the last 2 seasons have been Groundhog Day. Oh, here we go again. Hunter Brown will be fine. That they've solid bullpen. What sustained them 2 years ago was, whether it was starting pitching and then bullpen, that's what's kept them alive and well, honestly. But now, you're going to have to get production from guys that, with your premium lefty gone and Detroit loading up in the American League on their side and with their pitching staff. For them, and they're getting with Altuve, they're getting a little older and Correa, but stay healthy, which is the key for everybody. But your hitters have to match the pitching. Now, there were times the pitching was up and down, but the consistency over the last 2 years has been pitching where your star hitters have left too many guys stranded. Jordan's got to be healthy. You have to have him in the middle of the lineup and productive. So Correa's got to play like an all-star. Some of these young players, Cam out in right field, has got to be the guy they expected when they made the trade with Chicago. So there's some things they got to do. Pitching's always the key, but for the Astros, the biggest key for me is that middle of your lineup going to be productive? The catcher in the hitting position and Altuve, where you are driving in runs, run production, and making sure you're not leaving runners in scoring position because they've been fairly miserable. Yet you look at the average and run scored, they'll always be near the top, 8 or 7 or so. So health, but I'm looking for the stars to elevate, and you got to have a season. The last 2 years, Tucker missed 70-some games 2 years ago. Yordan Alvarez missed a lot of the season last year. You have got to keep your big boppers healthy, and in the middle of the lineup has to carry it because if you look at the teams that win, Yankees, when they're going good, the Seattle, you take Cal Raleigh's group, and then the Dodgers, the teams that produce the middle of the lineup when it's nut cutting time, they find ways to get it done. And they're going to have to produce in the middle of that lineup.
The Astros will be in Sacramento at the end of next week for the A's home opener. What about the ABS replay challenge system? A fan of that? Yes or no?
Grant, I used to be. You're talking about the balls and strikes part of it, right? Yeah,
Yep.
I resisted it for a long time, and I mean that's the part of me that's old school. That having the umpire there, and the human error. It happens.
Yep.
But I'm not fully bought in, but I am bought in with throw strike. It gets called, speed the game up. Even though I don't care if it's a good game, if it's 5 minutes longer, I think it's that part's overrated.
Agreed.
But what I do care is that while I like the humans calling it, what I do like, Grant, is getting it right. And that's just part of it. But I still lean towards, I don't have a problem with the challenges and stuff, and that's fine with me. But I still like human error being a part of it, and umpires, I don't know. I guess I'll have to get over it. But once technology comes and takes over, like in football, or at the airport, we kind of forgot what it was like pre that. So get it right. I still have a problem with the bigger bases and, all that stuff. I just do. I think, again, we try to change things that at times don't need changed. But to me, if you got to get it right, let's get balls and strikes right. And maybe it'll be faster moving for some. But also, I think it's important to make sure that both the hitter and pitcher are rewarded for either a ball missed or a ball in the strike zone.
Of course, we talk about the times that we're in tomorrow. Yankees, Giants, the only game, right? You got Logan Webb, Max Fried, and, oh, by the way, it's not on TV. You've got to go find it on Netflix. I mean, it's unbelievable to me, really.
Then why have the opening game by itself on a Wednesday night?
I'm with you.
Then why do
just
that?
Unbelievable to me. I know.
Right. I'll tell you why. Because somebody's paying money to run it on their network. We got to go find it, and you got to get a subscription, all that.
Yep.
What happened to the day? What happened to the day when 11:10 Central Time, or whatever that was, or one
at Riverfront Stadium,
and the Cincinnati Reds were getting ready to play. That's exactly right. The big red machine and the Reds, they're having their parade in Cincinnati. That was the first game and the one game on, and then we just rolled through.
Yeah.
What happened to that? We don't need to be like football. You don't need a standalone game. You just don't. You sure as hell don't need to stay. If it's a standalone game, put it on the network's going to run it, not on the one that we got to go to because you think, well, we want to make sure that they're happy. They paid a lot of money. I'm so tired of it.
Yeah.
The money grab that goes with this. You lose tradition and the stuff that we fell in love with that's made us fans in the first place. History and tradition does not always need to be changed. Some of it does, some doesn't. Having the Cincinnati Reds play the opener is exactly the same as the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions playing every single Thanksgiving. Cincinnati should be leading off, and that's the way we should go about it. Stop this nonsense. And if you're going to make it its own game, please give it where everybody can watch it or everybody wants to. Because you go into the season bitter. You're already bitter on the opening night, but you got to go about it this way. Let me turn on my TV and let's get rolling on a Thursday when everybody plays and the Cincinnati Reds started off.
Sean, were you surprised that Travis Kelce is coming back for one more season?
No, I'm not, Grant. The talk, it's rare, Grant, rare, and you know this, that guys go out on top. The Elways, Barry Sanders, it is really, really rare. Most of the time, you're either production falls off mightily.
Yep.
2 is the injuries you can't do it anymore. Or 3 is you think you can do it, you're not very good, and they cut you, and you're just like, man, I'm 41, and I just can't do this. So I don't, because of the way it ended. His quarterback gets hurt too. He did not. The last 2 years, people have questioned is he slowed down, and plus there's a lot of money to be made. So it's face facts. You're at this stage now. That's like, and then people say how much is too low, and I know his lady's got plenty of money too, and Taylor Swift, but it's the pride thing. You get to a point and say, I got 1 or 2 more in me. And Grant also, and knowing this in locker rooms, once you leave it, you never get that in any job again. Even I don't care what it is.
Yep.
It's coaching's as close as you'll get, and I don't think he's going to be a guy that's going to want to go coach full time with all he's got going on. Coaching is the closest thing you get. Other than that, you don't get that camaraderie anymore. Corporate America didn't like it. Your radio show's not like it. Your podcast isn't like it. Your concert appearances aren't like it. You never get it. And it's hard to say goodbye to the fellas. Some of those guys in my locker room that I was really good friends with, I haven't seen their face since I quit in 1996. And that bums me out. I stay in touch, but I haven't seen them. So I think there's part of that. And for somebody to look you in the face and tell you, well, you're not good enough, brother. Usually we're waiting on that. We don't want it. But I think there's this feeling, if he goes and has a great year this year or play, 70 catches and plays well, I think that then it enables you to, it feels like, okay, I can walk away from this where people aren't saying you should have left 3 years sooner. But if he goes out and plays 7 games and is hurt the rest of the year, those are the questions that'll loom. Most people stay too long. I think Kelce's still got enough game, and plus he can help younger players. He's still got enough if he's fully healthy, and maybe, just maybe, the last 2 years have got him going back to a deeper, harder training off season. I'm sure he's trained hard anyway, but to get yourself primed to say, let me go out on top so when I do leave, people are considering me, even though I don't think it's true, but he's close, as the best tight end ever. I think there's a couple ahead of him, but he's been one hell of a player. And you just love playing, man. Like I said, the rest of your life's in front of you, and he's in his, early to mid-30s?
Yeah.
Or mid-36, 35, whatever it is.
Yeah. You talk about the locker room, and this past week we saw, and I know you're not into the NBA the way you used to be, but you still follow it. We saw what LeBron James did and how well he's playing in the 2 games that he had against the Rockets. And whether you like LeBron or not is not the point here. The point is that at age 41, to be doing what he's doing is remarkable. And yet it requires so much work away from the scene, behind the scenes, keeping your body right. You played in the league for a long time. You know what I'm talking about. These certain individuals that go above and beyond and work to a point where they can play an extra few years than somebody else. And you just look at them and you marvel, right? You've been in that situation before.
I have. And and the guys that you say, man, how does this guy keep, and if you didn't know their age, you'd say they got another decade in them. He's one of them. Listen, of all the great things, and yes, he can be a pain in the ass at the flopping and immersing himself into every conversation, but just on the court as a player, he is obviously a top 3, top 4, depending on who you talk to. Some think he's the best. I got Jordan and I think Abdul-Jabbar, but that 3 or 4-some, right? That the 5. But for me, I'm going to tell you what I think his greatest thing is his ability to. He's a bigger beast now than he was when he came in the league. Now, he can't play. He's not as good or as dominant. I'm just talking about the physical well-being. The fact that he can go, that if you close your eyes and say, man, that cat, how old is he? And you think, he's what?
41.
Oh, the pounding on the hardwood and the floor and do it. I actually think his great. Now, I know he's been hurt at times, but his durability and ability to keep elevating to another level, now the consistency, but just he can still call on that and still dial it up. It's frightening. It really is. He's the biggest. I mean, you and I watched Chamberlain. He was a freak show, just a different cat. But as far as putting your time in on your tonal and working out and the pounding and getting minutes, all that stuff, we've never had anybody like him in the NBA. There's been some really good ones, some beasts, but this dude is at the top of the food chain when it comes to. This is a full-grown basketball playing monster that it just, and he's dialed in to know that the older he's gotten, he knows how to make sure his body's even more physically gifted. He's stronger now, I guarantee, than he was at 25. I'll guarantee it.
No question.
Now, he can't sustain it, but he is, he's as big a beast as this league's ever seen. It's a tribute to him. And anybody that doesn't recognize that just is making it personal, because LeBron James is a freak, and he's a freak to the highest degree when it comes to his ability to stay and continue to dial up performances at his age. I think, who said it? Did KD said he's got 5 more years in him if he wants it? I think he can play if he really wants to and walk out on top. I mean, think about that. That's what Kevin Durant said. So I don't know if he's going to last that long, but I can tell you what, the body will still look like he's got 5 years left when he retires. It's amazing.
You think the last year they would still make that deal? Do you think they would fire Durant and give out Dylan Brooks and Jerry Green?
Grant, it kind of was a little muffled. I think you asked me if would the Rockets would they make the deal? Would they make the deal again if I could do it? Is that what you said?
Yes.
I think. Yeah, I think so. I think because looking for a closer like Kevin Durant, and I think they felt like they saw what they saw. Now, Jalen Green, good player, and, the Dylan Brooks thing, but I do, because I think that not only the recognition and the guy who you brought to the table in Kevin Durant, but the simple fact that you need a closer, and we're going to see what that's like come, as we get down the stretch here. But the Jalen Green was supposed to be that guy and couldn't close it out. And that playoff game got him out of the building. Really good player, but they needed that wow factor. And Kevin Durant, they believe, was the one when it happened, was going to bring it. We'll see if that happens when we hop into as we get closer down the stretch here. But yeah, I would, just because there was a couple. I would have loved to have Giannis here if you could have pulled the trade off with Milwaukee at the time on last offseason. But yeah, who doesn't want a guy like Kevin Durant that can close? And he's proven it. I think if the Rockets had to do it again as well, they'd do the same deal.
Sean, sorry for the audio issues at the end. You take care, buddy. Have a great week. Appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Good stuff. Right. Thank you. Sean Salisbury will be back right after this on Fox Sports Sacramento.
It's the All Things Legal Show, heard every Saturday morning from 8 to 9. Join your host, Craig Ashton. Saturday morning. 8 to 9. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Are you SAC Alert? Have you signed up to receive emergency alerts via phone, text, email, or app? Well, what are you waiting for? Winter is coming, and that means there is potential for storms and flooding in our county. Don't get caught off guard or left in the cold. Get urgent storm evacuation and shelter information immediately sent directly to your device. Sign up today at sacramento-alert.org. Again, that's sacramento-alert.org. It's free, quick, and easy to do, and can literally be a lifesaver.
Hop in a John Deere Gator XUV for a day's work. Let's see what's on the to-do list. There goes the tree and the fence. Not a problem, because you've got a cargo box filled with solutions, up to 4,000 pounds of towing capacity, and you're ready to roll.
The power's out!
Here we go again. The Gator XUV, built for every kind of workday. Learn more at johndeere.com/Gator XUV. Nothing runs like a deer.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
Get the best. Bridgestone tires are engineered to keep your world moving, and that's what really matters. Now through March 31st, buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires and get $80 back on a Bridgestone prepaid MasterCard. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. For the best selection in Bridgestone tires, get to Expert Tires and Brakes at 5810 Auburn Boulevard. Expert Tires and Brakes. Save big and get their 60-minute install guarantee. Expert Tires and Brakes, 5810 Auburn Boulevard. That's Expert Tires and Brakes.
I'm retired and worried about the cost of food, medicine, and rent. BenefitsCheckup.org connected me to an extra $1,000 a month. Best of all, it's free. Visit BenefitsCheckup.org today.
Supported by the U.S. Administration for Community Living.
Sounds right.
Welcome back. Grand Napear Show, Fox Sports Radio. How about Sean Salisbury? The guy does it all. We are so fortunate to have him with us every single week. What'd you think about his breakdown of baseball? Always the best. Always the best. The Kings in action still right now. Rhino with you. Going to have Gray back in just 2 seconds. But we are getting you up until the 6 o'clock hour. Glad you could be here. Let's just put this right there. There we go. Glad you could be here. The Kings second half has started 86-57. The Kings are being blown out by the Charlotte Hornets. 9 minutes remaining in that one. Not a big surprise. The Kings only with 8 players tonight. However, Max Reynaud continues to play strong. 15 points for him. How about Devin Carter? 13 points off the bench. Daquan Plowden also has added in 11 points. Malik Monk, a little bit slow game, so we will keep you updated on that one. Remember, first game of a 5-game trip for the Kings. This one you thought might be winnable. You really want to look at that Brooklyn game, though, as we continue down. Don't forget, post-game show tonight. Grant, Jerry Reynolds, myself will talk about it. we'll see if the Kings are going to have anybody else available as this trip continues. Grant opened up talking about just what's going on in the NBA with the Players Association issuing a statement, couple of statements, to be clear. One about Giannis Antetokounmpo and him playing instead of resting or being rest managed by the Bucks. The second was about the 65-game rule, which led us to the Kings, because the Kings had a lot of players listed as having soreness. Now, let's clear the lines, or at least draw the line with Neat Clifford. Neat Clifford does have a mid-foot sprain, which will leave him out. Had an MRI, mild, going to be reevaluated in about a week. But as we go along, the Kings hopefully will continue to improve their place in the lottery, at least their chances to get a top pick. So where's everybody at on baseball? We've talked a lot about the A's in this season. It is odd. I thought Sean made a great point about kicking off the baseball season with a one-gamer. Now, if you're a Giants fan, that's pretty cool. That's a good game. The Giants and the Yankees. Probably be a decent amount of Yankees fans there as well. But it's funny because as we get more and more down the road with sports coverage, so much is behind a paywall. Netflix tomorrow night for Major League Baseball. You've seen numerous different regional sports carriers collapse. The money just was not there. Are we going to get to a place where ultimately you're going to have to pay to see your home team's games if you're in market? Could be. But for now, you still have the Kings. We'll have the A's for this season. Excited about them as well. So looking at the chat, if you want to give the call or give the show a call, love to have you. 916-779-0929. Rhino in for a few minutes. Rhino, wonder if Grant bump in Starship in College. Yes, it's a good song, right? It's a great song. Grant's audio's breaking up. We're getting that fixed right now, which means you are getting a little touch of me. Dodgers fan. That's why I'm sour in baseball. Why are you sour if you're a Dodgers fan? I mean, you've got the weight in the world if you're the Dodgers and a Dodgers fan, because you should win the championship. Hands down. But why are you sour? Anybody that gets to watch Shohei Ohtani over 160 times a year, nothing to be sour about. I'm with Sean, though. I know Grant is taking the Dodgers as opposed to the field. I'm taking the field this year in baseball. As much as you don't like to see a team, a super team, an owner that's spending that type of money, it is fun to see if you can get an underdog story in Major League Baseball. We got you back, partner?
I think so. I hope so. Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you. No more cracking.
No? Yeah, I thought so. I don't know what's going on in here. But anyway, thank you for your couple of moments. Do I get money deducted from my salary and give it to you?
No, those were pro bono. Those were a couple of pro bono moments. Yeah, I got you. You. Partners, pick
the
each other up.
The post-game show won't go very long tonight because the Kings are down 98-57.
I know. Incredible. Charlotte beat them by 42 earlier this season as well.
I know. How about that? I was just going to mention that. I couldn't remember if it was 38, 40, or 42. Is 42?
42.
42. Wow. Okay. 42.
130
absolutely
to 88.
130 to what?
Oh, wait. Excuse me. Let me make sure that I'm looking at that right.
No, it was
No, I'm
was
thinking
it the Charlotte game they got blown out?
No, you know what? I'm thinking of the 25-26 season. This year it was only 117-109. That Charlotte game 2 years ago.
Was it last year they got blown out, right?
By 42. That was the one.
Let me ask you this. So, okay, if it weren't for Max Reynaud right now, by the way, Devin Carter's having a nice game. I mean, relatively speaking. Now, again, I know he's minus 29, but, Malik Monk's minus 41, DeMar DeRozan's minus 31, Max Reynaud's minus 39. I mean, the point is, at least Carter, you know what? Again, with him, Rhino, what you think? You don't think he's a point guard? He's a combo guard, but really, it all boils down to his offense, correct? His ability to shoot or lack thereof. So I'm pulling for the kid because I think he works hard. I don't know if there's a future for him in Sacramento. There's probably not, but I do like to see him play well.
Yeah, I like to see him play well too, and I think he's kind of made a decision in his game that he's gonna try to do what he can to showcase himself in these minutes. And I'm pulling. I hope he does play well, but point guard's out of the question. I've drawn the line. Point guard is just not there for Devin Carter anymore. It's going to be a combo guard.
I'm with you. I don't disagree with you.
The Kings just don't have that room.
All right. I don't think I don't think Nick Clifford's a point guard either.
No.
I don't think he's fast enough.
And to be fair, was it
I don't think his foot speed is there.
I'm with you. I think the handle is not there right now, but that was like the third thing in his game, right? Maybe he could play some point. He's been pushed into playing point at times this season and kind of thrown into the deep end of the pool in that sense. So is there a little bit more maybe with the ball handling? Can you improve your foot speed? Maybe, but he does have the one thing that's most important for a point guard, and that's floor vision. So I'll give him that.
He does have floor vision. Absolutely. Yeah. No, he definitely has that. Hey, I want to tell you about Village Financial Group, buying a home or you selling a home. But a lot of people right now are locked in. They're so happy with their low interest rates that they were able to get years ago. But they're turning into home equity lines of credit. If you're in that boat and that's where you want to go, you know what? Get in touch with Spence. Give him a call or text him. Just text him, 916-805-4868. He's with Village Financial Group. He began the family-owned business back in 2000. And I can vouch for Spence. I've known him from day one when he opened up his business that's locally owned. And you want an experienced individual. You want somebody that you can work with in terms of like complete trust. This is like a white glove boutique shop, one stop. He'll take you right from the start line to the finish line. Spence will do it all for you. And he's a very creative financing specialist. So like if you're in the market for buying a home, remember he's got access to private money as well. Give him a call or text him at 916-805-4868, or you can go online at vfgloans.com. That's vfgloans.com. You can check out thousands of listings available for purchase. It makes sense to call Spence at 916-805-4868. Village Financial Group, looking out for your best interest. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the show. That's coming up next, right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
We are the Force. Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrude Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrude's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrude's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrude's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrude's, locally owned for more than 30 years. Gubruds.
Call the good dudes at Gabruds. Gubruds. Gabruds.com.
Aftershock, the West Coast's largest rock, metal, and punk festival, returns to Sacramento this October with My Chemical Romance.
When you got me what you want to know, we'll carry on.
Tool, Limp Bizkit, Pierce the Veil, plus Suicide Boys, Queens of the Stone Age, The Offspring, A Day to Remember, Wu-Tang Clan, Sublime, Danny Elfman, Baby Metal, Public Enemy, Circa Survive, and so many more. 4 days, 135 plus bands, 5 stages. Aftershock takes over Discovery Park October 1st through 4th. My Chemical Romance, Tool, Limp Bizkit, Pierce the Veil. All 4-day, single day, and premium passes are on sale now, starting at only $1 down. Get yours at AftershockFestival.com.
You know, throughout this show, during the commercials, I've been looking at the stadium renderings and what this is going to look like when the stadium opens in 2028. And I got to tell you, this looks beautiful. Like, I keep looking at these renderings and I'm just like, this is going to be so awesome for our area. And congratulations to everyone that's made this happen. Some of the interesting aspects. Okay. So, I'm breaking. Can you hear me now? 7,000 per concert.
All right, we're having some tech issues. We will wrap it up. I think what Grant's trying to say is we try to get him back hooked up. The renderings for the Sac Republic's proposed new stadium that is already underway and being built. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. One thing that struck me when I saw him was I said, that looks like Sacramento. Like, if you're going to build that stadium in that place, it feels like, just from the renderings, it embodies Sacramento. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about the Republic Stadium and the fact that they're going as far to make sure that every seat can be shaded from the sun during the summer. It's a great job. It's an incredible job. It's a smart job when you look at the size of the stadium as well. You build it too big, you're going to have empty seats. You build it right at the perfect spot, you're going to have demand. And I think there's going to be demand. This community has really rallied around the Sac Republic. I've been to a couple of matches. It is a fun atmosphere. And the Sac Republic have really rallied in this community between their youth programs, between what they do. If you've been to a game with local vendors at their current stadium, this is a win-win. And as Grant mentioned earlier in the show, if you're Sac State Could you make this work? How do you make that work? No offense to Sac State. I've seen their renderings at Cal Expo. It looks nice. It doesn't look like this. That would be an incredible place. Perfect place. Perfect size for what Sac State is trying to do. With the advancement of their program, moving to Division I, if you're already going to go off campus, is it that big of an ask to go over there? Downtown area? I mean, you will have two very, very high-end premier venues within miles of each other that can host different events, similar events. I mean, could you imagine a double header, a concert over there, something at the Golden One during the day? How about graduations? Those are always big, whether it be high school, Sac State, etc. But a very good job nonetheless by the Republic. What do you think about the renderings as we get ready to wrap up the show here on a Tuesday? The Kings just getting destroyed right now. Absolutely destroyed in Charlotte, 103-65. The bright spot, the one bright spot, Max Reynaud. It's really cool to see some of these vets also rally around Max Reynaud. You heard DeMar DeRozan. He wants to get Max to a spot where he could be first team, all rookie. I don't know that Max gets there. The Athletic has him ranked as 6th right now. But there's that Sacramento rule. You know, the one we've talked about. You have to do twice as much to get half the recognition, considering the season the Kings have had. But whether it's first team or second team, you've got something good in Max, both physically, both with his game, and then also his IQ. He gets it. He gets it. But the Kings not getting it tonight, or should I say, getting it tonight from the Charlotte Hornets. 103-68 as Doug McDermott hits a 3 there. We will have full coverage. It'll be a short post game right after on If You Don't Like That. Grant, Jerry, myself talk about this one as the Kings will continue their road trip after tonight. Grant and I were talking just briefly off the air. Kobe White for the Hornets, who came from Chicago, who was on one of the most reasonable deals, I thought, in the NBA, who had been dangling there for a team that desperately needed a point guard, dangling for a team to go get him. Charlotte ends up getting him at the trade deadline. He's destroying the Kings tonight. He's having a great game as well. 20 points. Off the bench, he's a positive 25 in the plus minus. I love watching Kobe White, but I also don't like hearing his name because it is fingernails on a chalkboard for a team that needed that type of point guard. There he is. Charlotte didn't need him, but Charlotte got him. Watch out for Charlotte. I mean that. Not this year. They're going to be a play-in team this year. But they've got a decent young core that's coming together. As for the Kings, we'll see as this road trip continues what's next for them, who's next. I mean, the expectations for the Kings tonight, 8 players in uniform. The writing was already on the wall. Malik Monk doing his best to distribute, just not enough. 111, 176. Looking at the text line, it's incredible how many of you do want to hear about baseball. We'll make a point of that. Is anybody heading to San Francisco for that opener tomorrow? Grant had FP Santangelo on yesterday talking about the excitement in the city for a game like that. Yeah, it's behind the paywall, but I think a lot of people will watch it. Baseball needs to capitalize on the momentum of the World Baseball Classic, and I get there probably would have been more momentum had Team USA won the World Baseball Classic, but it was a good look. It was a really good look. So can that continue into the season? I mean, it's just such a long season. But I do think here in Sacramento, as Grant's laid out, as we've talked about, with a pending, and I know you still have a year in front of you, a season in front of you of baseball before a possible lockout due to the players and the owners not coming to terms on a new CBA. Enjoy this season in Sacramento. Young, exciting lineup. I'll definitely be going out to a few games. Think it'll be good. Think it will be really, really good. See if we can get Grant back. If not, we will close out the show. We've got a big show coming up for you tomorrow. One of our favorites, Olden Polonese, will be joining Grant. How great is OP, by the way? OP, his perspective is so refreshing. So we'll talk to him about what happened today with the NBA Players Association and what the NBA is going to do, because the NBA really does have a massive problem on their hands. You know, you can be Adam Silver and you can say, yeah, I've got this money locked in, TV contract, good, we're looking at expansion. But the product is just poor. Earlier today on NBA radio, Rob Perez talked about you can outline almost 10 teams right now in the association that are not playing to win, where circumstances could be different. I'm not a doctor. Grant's not a doctor. Maybe you're a doctor. If you are, that's a lot of school. Hopefully, your medical bills are paid off or your school bills are paid off. And thank you for what you do. But you do have to wonder when you look at some of these teams and the decision-making that went into shutting players down. Washington, got to take advantage, right? You have a young guy in Alex Sarr. You trade for Trae Young, then you get AD, but you shut both of them down. Heck, Trae Young got kicked out of a game before he even played in one. Utah, a very obvious example of this, with Larry Marketing in and out. Jaren Jackson, they shut him down for the season. You know, Utah's a team next year, and let's hope, because as much as you could point at the Kings for some of the guys that have been in and out of the lineup, some of the rotations as of late, what the Kings have done, and Doug Christie has said this many times, he's not going to judge anybody else's house in terms of other teams and quote-unquote tanking. But if the lottery rolls around on May 10th and a team like Utah that has that much firepower, Keontae George, ends up getting the first pick after being fined by the NBA, basically Utah gets what they want, it's going to be a big problem. I know this fan base is going to be bent. Just add it to the list of things that need to be fixed in the NBA. How many have we hit on today? The style of play, the three-pointers, Now the tanking. Teams shutting players down when players want to play. I just think it's going to be very interesting 10, 15, 20 years down the road when you hear from players of this generation after they've been out of the league for 10 years, 5 years, whatever it might be. I wonder what the narrative's going to be. And you're not going to get it from LeBron. You're not going to get it from those guys. But those guys that are your fringe 10, 12, 13-year veterans that would get rest managed, but they wanted to play. I wonder what that's going to look like. I don't put Giannis in that group because of this whole drama, soap opera that's happened this season in Milwaukee that was so predictable that it was going to come down to this. But for the others, it should be interesting. Man, we're already here. We are at the end of the show already, but don't forget, if you missed the first hour today of the Grant Napear Show, by the way, Rhino closing things out for Napes. We brought in the lefty to close out the 9th inning. If you missed the first hour, we will replay it here at the top of the 6 o'clock hour. Kings still getting blown out, 118-76, just under 10 minutes remaining in that game. Grant, Jerry, and I will be on YouTube to do a post-game show on If You Don't Like That to talk about this one. Still decent amount to talk about with Max Reynaud, Devin Carter, his future here in Sacramento. You know, this is good in a sense for a guy like Devin Carter. We're getting a better look at him. But I don't see what the role is going to be when it comes to him in Sacramento. I just don't see where he fits. It's not at point guard. But then conversely, what's the value look like? Is there value? I do think Devin can play in the NBA. I just don't think it's going to be here with the Kings. So we'll see. A lot to talk about after this one. The Kings looking at a very, very bad loss. Predictable, though, with only 8 players available today. Hey, I want to send a special thank you to all of you who have joined us. Opening day tomorrow, we will have full coverage of that with the Yankees and the Giants. A big thanks to Sean Salisbury for joining the show. Olden Polonese tomorrow. Grant mentioned that he's going to have Steve Sachs coming up soon in the near future. So that will be fun as well. Don't forget also to join me on America's #1 daily fantasy site, Prize Picks. Having a lot of fun. We're winning right now. So use the promo code Rhino, RYNO 50 to get $50 in free lineups after you play your first $5 lineups. Check it out. It's great stuff. It's really good stuff. We'll get Grant all hooked up and ready for tomorrow. We'll make sure he's good to go. For everybody in the text chat, we appreciate you. For those who have called the show today, thank you very much. Looking forward to doing this post-game show here in just a few minutes on If You Don't Like That and YouTube. Man, 3 hours go quick. Well, actually, 20 minutes go quick coming in, closing out the show for Napes. Make it a great rest of the evening. Don't let the Kings ruin the night. A lot of good stuff going on. For Grant, I'm Rhino. Thank you for tuning in to the Grant Napear Show here on Fox Sports Sacramento. So long.
Are you SAC Alert? Have you signed up to receive emergency alerts via phone, text, email, or app? Well, what are you waiting for? Winter is